This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.
Melbourne United taking on the Illawarra Hawks. Now, for Melbourne United to be favourites in a game at the moment, something must be going terribly wrong on the other end of the court. And unfortunately for the Illawarra Hawks, that's exactly what's happening. Absolutely laying an egg to start this season. Melbourne United have not been impressive at all, especially on the offensive end. And that's why I'm going to go the total points. This is going to be my bet of the game here. The total points under. United struggling to score at every turn. They need their imports to stand up. And of course, Illawarra just playing it flat out terribly. Here's your same game multi. Couple of stars to step up. Enjoy the game and gamble responsibly.
You know the score. Stay in control. Gamble responsibly.
Tucker turns the corner for three. Dent pulls the trigger. Natan Mays with a hand in the face. And here comes George King. George is an entertainer. Harvey to try and respond for Illawarra. Settles for the jumper. Aquera, nice putback. Hickey, nice move, throws it down. Nice pass underneath for Isaac Humphries, who started well. Tucker from the corner.
Man, back-to-back jumpers.
Here we go. Matt Diang pounds the chest and pounds the rib. He loves it. We start a Saturday doubleheader in Wollongong. Illawarra against Melbourne at the Sandpit. And let's be frank, the Hawks and United walked in here today in a hole, a big hole. The home team has lost 5 in a row. The visitors are on a 3-game skid. Injuries, flat spots, poor form. They mean that we're about to watch two desperate teams. But sometimes that desperation leads to the best television and the best on-court performance. Good evening, everybody. I'm Matt Russell alongside Brad Rosen. Brad, what sort of game do you expect despite that poor form?
I'm with you, Matty. I'm really looking forward to tonight. You've got two teams that haven't won enough, but right now, this is great for them. This is exactly what they want. They come out here, they can get their season started. Let's look at Brisbane. A week ago, we were sitting here going they hadn't won a game. Now they've won 2. Let's see what tonight brings.
Well, Melbourne have some dramas on the court, and they had a drama off the court when, in the media conference after being beaten last Sunday, Dean Vickerman called out Jordan Caroline, who's not playing tonight. He's out with a hamstring injury, the import, and said he's no Jack White, the former Melbourne player now in the NBA. He has since backtracked from those comments, the coach, but it did raise eyebrows, and it has some wondering whether that might be reflected in the broader team today, that they had a teammate thrown under the bus, for want of a better expression, by the coach last week.
I think it's a good point you make, Matt, but the answer is no. Dean Vickerman is a seasoned coach. We have no idea what's going on behind the scenes, and he could have done that for a number of reasons. Right now, it's in the bin. We move on. This team will be wanting to get a win tonight.
It was a relaxed, upbeat Dean Vickerman when I spoke to him a short time ago. Well, Dean, only your second road game after an impressive win in Perth. What's the key to replicating that performance this evening?
Yeah, I thought over there we were able to stay in winning habits for good stretches of the game. Obviously, there was little lapses, but you know, we've seen in our home games, the lapses have been far too long, so we're just trying to shorten those.
Yeah, the flat spots where you're heavily outscored. Is there a key? Is there a simple fix to remedying that? Yeah,
you know, we're obviously down on numbers at the moment, so you know, you continue to look at your rotations and how much scoring power that you've got on the floor at different times, and we'll mess around with that one a bit tonight.
Yeah, Shea Illy almost back. No Jordan Caroline tonight. So without Jordan, what are the flow-on effects for the team and especially the individuals because of his absence?
Yeah, no Mason Peatley, no Ariel Huckporty. We're short on bigs tonight, so you know that rotation of David Aquera, Dave Barlow, Isaac Humphries, Brad Newley plays a little bit of forward tonight. So yeah, you know it's going to be interesting in that area. You know we'll have to junk it up a little bit more tonight if their bigs are able to form a dominance in the paint.
Yeah, short on bigs, but according to Melbourne's Rajon Tucker, not short on a potential match winner. And he has been upping his output in recent games. Here's his hauls in starting. 5 points, 14 points, 15 points, 19 points and 20 points. I wonder if he can keep the climb going this evening.
Well, they're going to need it. You look at this graphic now, and they need those points production from their imports. Of course, Jordan Caroline is out, but Rajon Tucker, he came out here saying he's going to be the best import in the league. He's starting to get to those numbers, so let's see if he can keep producing that tonight.
And Xavier Rathan-Mays reduced the amount of shots he attempted last start, but did up the rebounds and the assists, trying to play a more provider type role. Chris Goulding, you can't touch on Melbourne without touching on CG43. What does he do in this one?
Right, for me, Chris Goulding is the one that they need to perform to get this game. If you look at this in the half court, the Kings are right off Chris, but not Chris Goulding. Look at him. He ends up getting an offensive call there because they are able to just stick on him all the time. They need that man there. He's been to the Olympics. He's won a medal. If he goes, Melbourne goes.
Peyton Seaver has no time limitations today. The new import will be out there for as long as Jacob Jackomas needs him. He also hopes Tyler Harvey can score more freely. Here are your commentators, Joel Peterson, Jenny Screen and Peter Hurley.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Brad. Look forward to hearing more from both of you throughout the course of tonight. Let's get into our champions. Starting five, Screeny, the Hawks.
Well, they're going to need a lot of help from their inputs tonight. Tyler's struggling. We know that. Peyton Seaver injected. We might see him add a little bit more punch to their starting lineup.
And a very different champion starting five for United and Dean Vickerman, Pete.
Well, you heard him in that pre-game interview. He's got Lockie Barker in there. He's come back from concussion, and David Aquera. Not surprising. We'll touch on this as the game goes. He likes to junk it up. Ray John Tucker off the bench. Let's see how it works out for him.
They both desperately need to win, these two teams. Illawarra lost their last 5. Melbourne, their last 3. The last time Melbourne was in this building, they did get the W. They go straight into Humphreys, who works over Froling and can't hit. And at least it's a better start than what they faced on Thursday night against Brisbane with the opening possession. Lob slam for DJ Mitchell on the defensive end for the Hawks. Here's Seaver working his way inside. Oh, tosses that one away. Barker straight into the action, races back up the floor.
Well, what a good start, though, for Lockie Barker. Nice little confidence booster. And this is Dean Vickerman saying that they've had, at times, too much scoring power on the floor, which, to be honest, has been a key issue. When you think about it, you've got XRM, who likes to get a shot up and get some buckets going. Chris Goulding, we know what he's done his whole career. Ray John Tucker. Now you get to mix that up a bit. Try and feed Isaac Humphreys like they did. Free up Rattan Mays, Chris Goulding early, and then bring in Ray John Tucker to see a different lineup. He'll be going against the bench of the Hawks. Maybe that helps him.
And then if you're not finding the bottom of the net as well, defensively is where you've got to start to put pressure on, and getting that stop early just allows them to get out into transition and get some nice easy points on the board to start.
Jacob Jackomas said that his team needs to play with some more pop, some more passion. They didn't make the necessary adjustments on Thursday against Brisbane. We're wanting to see that early here as Deng takes it inside. Strong move to the cup.
Deng was really good against Brisbane. You know, the shining light had a double-double, 11 points and 11 rebounds. Expect him to have a big one tonight.
The only Hawk in double digits against the Bullets on Thursday. Rattan Mays leading United in points, rebounds, assists and playing time so far in the early stages. Finds Barker, gets to the elbow. Can't get the jump shot to go. Humphreys keeps it alive for United. And Aquera will give them another look. Humphreys inside, gets the seal. Seaver helps across, and it's last touched by Hawks' hands with 5 on the shot clock. Let's take a look at the Amy replay of the move from Deng Deng.
It was a good matchup there, Deng Deng, David Aquera, both extremely long athletes and like to put the ball on the floor, but that helps our defense from Peyton Seaver. That's exactly the kind of leadership that he's going to bring. What a pass from Chris Goulding to Rattan Mays, and this is what I'm going to be intrigued to see in these first few minutes. How do they try and get Chris Goulding going? Now, he's struggled a little bit this season, but really struggled to find his shots. That's the biggest concern. Speaking of struggle, Tyler Harvey, that's the good way he needs to start.
And that's the thing, right? As a shooter, you're one game away of having that great game, and potentially it's tonight on his home court.
Shooting it at 27% from downtown coming into tonight. Tyler Harvey. He's had it far from his all his own way early. Humphreys offloads to Aquera, blocked by Deng. Gets it back, the youngster for United. Can't get the turnaround to go. So a better defensive start from the Hawks here. A little bit more intent. But the offense has been the issue for them. Last in the league in scoring. Harvey, step back.
Well, that's exactly what Tyler Harvey does. He was 4 of 20 from 3 across his last 3 games. He's knocked down his first 2 in this one. That'll feel good for Tyler Harvey. I'll tell you who else is taking a sigh of relief is Jacob Jackomas on the sideline. Needs his superstar to knock down some shots. Good start.
All of a sudden, the home crowd is invested, not knowing what they'd quite come and get this afternoon as Humphreys turns inside of the lane. He's fouled.
that block from Deng Deng. David Aquera, he's had some good dunks off the little drop-off, and you've got to know that if Tyler Harvey's hit one, he's going to get the next one up. You've got to close the gap, make him put the ball on the floor, send him off the three-point line.
So early 5-point lead. Off the back of a couple of threes to Tyler Harvey. Return Mays from the elbow. That's smooth.
It's smooth indeed. He knows these rings well, having played at Illawarra last year. Last game he played here, he had 26 points, obviously, for Illawarra, but he knows how to play on this court.
Harvey's going to take another look here. Long two. That one's around and out. Would have seen playing with some confidence early, though. Return Mays gets rid of his defender. Inside to Humphreys, who couldn't stick it home.
No pain to see to hit the deck there, but he's had 3 possessions already where he's really done well to wall up. You see there, he cops the little hip check. Well, that's because Return Mays, incredible lower body strength. He likes to get down in the post. With the too small gesture a couple of weeks ago.
He's been getting a workout across the course of the basketball world. Giannis on Ben Simmons the other day in the NBA.
It's probably time for a switch-up, I reckon. We've seen it enough.
Try and find something new. Humphrey spins his way inside. He's getting plenty of touches early. Quera hits the hardwood.
And it's nice to see the second efforts early of Melbourne United. Isaac Humphreys with a nice back-to-basket move, just not paying off, but what is paying off is the second efforts that we're seeing from the youngsters like David Aquera, giving other opportunities to Melbourne United early.
His substitutions already. Ray John Tucker into the game just gives him a chance to see how the game's being played, come in and inject something different. This is not new from Dean Vickerman. He's done it in the years past. Go back to 2019, but Chris Golding came off the bench, and to even think that would be possible in a season is absurd, and he did that for the benefit of the team. Now, I'm sure it's a different conversation they've had with Ray John Tucker, but from all reports, it was something that was going to be looked at when Shea Ili comes back, who is coming back on Monday against Perth. They were going to look at doing that anyway.
It's another great story, having Ili back in Melbourne United colours. Spent a lot of time out of the game now. Nice find inside. Seaver and the block from Humphreys. But that's called goaltending.
And that's very much a relief for Sam Froling. We heard him speak candidly after the game against Brisbane. He was great on the glass with 12 rebounds, but 1 of 11 for the night, and he expects better things from himself. So to get that one early, even though it may not have been...
That's smart. He was off balance. He just threw it to the backboard, and if Isaac Humphreys touches it, it's going to be a goaltend.
He talked about the need to make better decisions on the offensive end and let it feed his defence. That was a good decision. Here he is, getting a hand in the face of Golding. Humphreys with the and one.
They haven't capitalised so far, Melbourne United, but Jacob Jacobus won't be happy with how easily they're getting deep into the key. Isaac Humphreys has missed 3 field goals, which have been bunnies around the rim. He managed to knock this one down, but they've got to take some bit more pride, one-on-one defence, keeping them away from the key.
Let's go courtside to Brad Rosen.
Yeah, look, I just want to talk about how we were saying about Chris Golding. I'm down at the Melbourne bench, and they are definitely making a key to try and get him the ball. Now, you look at that play right there. He may have missed the shot, but it's the attraction. 3 guys go to him, and that allows Isaac Humphreys to get the rebound. They've got to keep going to Chris.
Thanks, Brad. Chance for the Hawks now on the offensive end. Seaver's three's a bit strong. Humphreys is there to control the defensive rebound. Holding stationed in that weak side corner. Newley into the game now. Here is a touch for Chris Golding. Back to Newley. Swatted by Deng, coming from a mile back.
Well, did the right thing. Chris Golding created some space, and it's not normally a shot 9 times out of 10 that he gets up. Deng came across, and look, a couple of players in the league who love to carry on after some highlight plays. Deng is one of them. Mango Mathiang, his teammate, is another one. That's what we love to see.
Providing some rim protection early. Nice find inside Tucker. He's fouled.
And King obviously just coming off the bench. That's now his 2nd foul for the game. You know, he's had a great impact for Illawarra off that bench, averaging 12 points a game, 4 rebounds in 24 minutes of court time. But that's not the start he wants, knowing how valuable he is to this team.
Well, he's one that really will have to stand up and do a little bit more. They're just struggling to score the ball. And look, they bring in Peyton Seaver now. The Justin Robertson injury has no doubt derailed their entire season and the plans that they've had. But other players have to step up. George King has shown that in glimpses. I think he's got to definitely try and find a way to do it more consistently. But if he starts to do that, Peyton Seaver now, then Tyler Harvey's not going to have as much pressure on him, Sam Froling, and maybe they can tick the scoreboard over.
Tucker hits the free throw, cuts it to a 2-point spread. Let's go courtside, Matt Russell.
Yeah, Mango Mathiang about to enter for Jacob Jackomas. I feel like he's already been on the court. He has been up and about at the bench, providing great energy, trying to get this crowd into the game. He really is a presence even when not on the court. Melbourne have won their last 5 trips to Wollongong, and this Illawarra bench looks like it knows that and wants to stop the rot.
It's good fun when he's out there too, Matty. Mango provides plenty of highlight opportunities. Dave Barlow out there for United alongside Rattan Mays. Tucker defending the ball here. Seaver wants the 3, likes the 3, can't connect it.
This is a layup.
And a wide open rebound for Tyler Harvey. You can't let him have that.
It's 3 of 3 from outside, and yes, that ball fell in his lap from deep, but somebody has to sprint out there. He's already knocked 2 down. He's a flamethrower. It's taken a while to get him to get going since the first year he was in the league. He already hit 3 of them.
Again, back out to that 5-point lead for Illawarra. Rattan Mays almost loses the handle, then does lose the ball as he drives inside. Hawks can push the advantage here. Harvey's 3 from downtown. There's the patented floater. He's fouled on the way through.
Well, he's gone for 50. That's what it looks like.
But this is what makes him tough, right, is the ability to knock the few threes down early, which means you have to close him out long. He gets this beautiful open 3 where he drained one just previously at the start of the game. It was always going down when it left his hand. But now, when you close him out long defensively, now he can put it on the floor. He loves that pick and roll and coming off and looking at the float, especially if defensively they're playing in a bit of a sag drop situation. So might be a tough night on the defensive end for Melbourne United if they can't lock him up early.
So timeout Illawarra. Lead by 5. Let's get courtside. Matt Russell's got some visiting fans in a hostile environment, Matty.
We love devoted fans, Joel, and we've got 3 right here. You better introduce yourself, fellas. I've only just sat down. Who have you got here?
I'm Jamie. Josh.
Brandon. And Jamie, tell me where you've come from to be here tonight.
So we come from Melbourne, Victoria in the southeast sort of suburbs. So we've driven 9 hours to get here. So we left on Friday, drove all day, and then so it took it a bit easy today, and then just come out to show a bit of support for United. So
last time I looked at petrol prices, they were pretty scary. You know there are things called aeroplanes. You could have flown here.
That's it. I think it makes for a better story, and like you with your mates, so you can't go wrong. So yeah.
What's the best part about the road trip?
Oh, not Jamie's music choices for sure. Yeah.
What's been the playlist?
Oh, a little bit of rap, a little bit of rock. It's been all over the place, really. Yeah.
And you better show them that sign. You're hoping CG43 starts delivering the 3s.
That's it. Yeah. Well, we love him so much. No one can guard him really. So when he starts hitting, we should get the win. So.
Yeah. Please tell me you're staying for a few days and enjoying wonderful Wollongong.
Yeah, we stayed last night and tonight, and we'll drive back tomorrow.
Go for a swim after this, okay?
Yeah, definitely.
Good on you, fellas. Devoted fans. We love them.
Great work, Matty. Great dedication.
It might be a little louder because Chris Colnick's turned down 2 open 3s. You've got that sign up there. Let him know about it.
Harvey at the free throw line. He's got 10 points. It's 14 of 15 coming into tonight. I knew someone was going to miss as soon as I said something like that.
I don't know why you said it.
Nah.
It's always the caller's curse.
Oh, should have been doing this long enough to know better than that. Here's Rattan Mays. Illawarra by game high 6. Much better start than we've seen from them in their last couple. Newley turns the corner. Kicks it out. Chance here for Malowach. Strong move.
Well, key standout so far, it just looked very patient on that end, on the offensive end. There's no one really trying to force anything. And again, you give up a couple of good shots for a great shot, and you get an easy 2.
Watch Malowach making an impact. King gave that plenty of air. Couldn't get the soft roll. Illawarra by 4. 3.5 remaining in this opening period. Great to have you with us. Big Saturday doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Barlow was wide open. Defers to Tucker, now lines it up. Dave Barlow's been doing that for years.
He has indeed at the ripe old age of 39, but, you know, he gave up the first one. I almost feel like it's a bit too selfless right now, which is not what characteristic of Melbourne United, but gave up one and then was able to get it back and drain one that we've seen him do all the time throughout his entire career.
Manga Mathiang just has to be a little smarter than that. Oh. Yes, you've got Rattan Mays posting up Tyler Harvey. He likes those matchups, but you got to take another step towards Dave Barlow. He's done it his whole career, but he's shooting the lights out from three to start this season. 53%. Got to take another step closer and contest that heavily or not let him get it up.
So Illawarra by 1, 14-13, 3:12 remaining in the opening period. We know what Peyton Sievers bring to the equation for Illawarra. He's such an exciting prospect, and he's had plenty to say in the lead-up as well. He said these comments got taken out of context, Pete, but you love a little bit of confidence from your import.
Well, Peyton Sievers played for the Breakers last year in the pre-season. The way too early prediction, I had him as the MVP because he had a fantastic European career coming off a strong college career. There he is with Jack Harlow enjoying himself, but you also want him, he needs to stay healthy. We know he had those struggles last year, but you want imports coming in and to believe in themselves. Ray John Tucker as well. Yes, there might be sometimes you get set up to kind of say the wrong thing in terms of, okay, best import in the league or I'm one of the best point guards in the world. But if you sign Peyton Sievers or you sign Ray John Tucker, you come in as a fan or a coach and you get asked a question about how you are going and you turn around and say, look, I'm half decent, I have my games, I'm pretty decent every now and then. You're thinking, why have we got you here? You want those players to have that belief in yourself, and if you don't think you're the best one to be recruited for the job, then why are you here?
Well, and the same token, you want to believe in yourself because no one else is going to, so you might as well back yourself and show what you're capable of.
When you're mates with Jack Harlow, I assume when you fly out to Australia, you fly first class?
you would assume so. You saw him there. That's with Louisville. Manga Mathiang Louisville as well. So these guys have a little history together. Maybe we start to see Mathiang grow his role a little bit more now that Peyton Sievers running point.
A couple of players have played under Rick Pitino. So 1 point the spread. The physical stuff from Mango to the Illawarra timeout. Let's get courtside and find out what Brad Rosen gleaned in the stoppage.
Yeah, look, it's been 2 quick timeouts. In the first one, Dean Vickerman implored his guys to play defense. He said to Dave Barlow, just hang off Mango, just stay under the rim. We're not big enough, so we want to be able to rebound. In the next timeout, he said, I could not be happier with the way you're playing. Just keep hustling on the defense, switch if we have to, and you keep sagging off Mango.
Well, mate, he sagged off in that possession before and he made him pay.
Wild little sequence at either end with Rattan Mays missing one and the lob going awry on offense for the Hawks. 2.5 remaining in this opening period. Illawarra by 3. Rattan Mays takes it inside. That's waved away.
And that's just smart by RXM. Using his physicality against Tyler Harvey. Not renowned for his defensive prowess, shall we say, especially what he can do on the offensive end, but RXM using his size and strength to just bully the undersized Tyler Harvey.
So here we go. This will be the first little possession we see with Rattan Mays, Tucker and Golding out on the floor together. That's been their starting guard lineup all season long.
Harvey with a spell. So Hawks in the penalty. So XRM going to the free throw line.
One of these teams' losing streaks is going to end. Melbourne United losing 3 straight. Well, Hawks losing 5 straight. Melbourne's just 1 win coming on the road now. They play a lot of games at home before the Australian Open in January. It's hard to win. Well, normally, sorry, it's notoriously hard to win in the NBL. Apparently this year everybody's doing it.
Well, I reflect on the last 2 years, and a lot of teams have become accustomed to enjoying playing at John Cain Arena because during COVID, there was a season at John Cain Arena, so it's not really a home court advantage anymore for Melbourne United, and obviously the Phoenix play there as well. So the cauldron that is these home courts anymore doesn't have that effect for a lot of these NBL teams.
Do you think teams have got better at preparing to play on the road too, having to do it so often over the last couple of years?
I loved playing on the road. You know, there's no pressure to win on the road and those type of things. And naivety is bliss, as we see Sam Froling knocking down a beautiful, nice little fadeaway there, back-to-bucket move. But for me, as a player, I loved the away games. There was no pressure. You could, play the way you wanted to do, and if you came away with the win, it was a bonus.
I'm the exact opposite. I hated it because as soon as you get on that plane, it means you're 1 step closer to giving away burgers, and it's petrifying. Absolutely petrifying. If you're at home, you don't have to worry about it.
We've got a couple of culprits in that regard tonight as Tucker makes a strong move to cut it back to a 1-point spread. Sam Froling led the league in free burgers last year, and Mango Matiang is 0 of 7 from the line.
Has he given away burgers, though?
So
if they're
far
all at
this
home.
season. He may not have. Here is Froling. Nice little right-hand push shot. And after a tough night going 1 of 11 on Thursday, Sam Froling's got it going early here, and he's got 6 on 3 of 3 shooting. Barker making his first start in United colours this evening. Golding gets around the screen, fires the 3. That'll make a few fans happy in there at the Wynn Entertainment Centre, and a few more happy that it didn't go to the bottom of the cup, as King stumbles his way through the lane in the end. Takes a bit of contact on the way through.
It's a good attack from George King. He's picked up those couple of early fouls, and you're going to need him to continue to be aggressive. Just averaging 59.6 points per game over their last 3. And you're trying to average close to 20 a quarter. It's just not going to get it done.
They haven't led at quarter time since the second game of the season, Illawarra. Lost the last 5 opening quarters they've played. Seaver's shot goes over the backboard and somehow doesn't touch the apparatus, and now King picks up a foul, and that'll be the 3rd on George King.
What is he doing?
And exactly what are you doing in the context of the game? But that's, 1, not a smart move as a player, but 2, pretty risky as a coach you know, to leave him out there. I know you're looking at me, Hills, going, that's just bad play, but you've also got 2 fouls, and you got 2 fouls pretty quickly in the game. For me, I'd let him sit, have a check, have a breather, and then put him back in the second quarter. Now you've gone from 2 fouls and riding him out in the first half to now 3 and having to sit probably to now the second half.
I'm with you. Again, that's the coach. He's got to save the player from themselves at times, but that probably gets sent to the tribunal in the AFL.
That's a hip and shoulder.
That is a hip and shoulder. There's a bump up with the ball.
How is that never? That's never not a foul.
I'm not sure what he's upset about. He's probably a bit more upset about himself, or even putting himself in that position. Makiang, smart awareness to tip that off the rim.
That was a staggering lapse from George King, who's scoreless so far and has 3 fouls. So Illawarra with a look here. Seaver weaves his way inside, blocked by Humphreys, who's averaging a couple of swats a game. A chance for United to take maybe the lead heading into quarter time. Golding's a long way from home. Usually doesn't worry him. Lays it off to Tucker as the buzzer sounds for quarter time. He can't get it to go. And Illawarra, for just the 2nd time all season, lead after 1. The Hawks with a promising start, up by 2. Illawarra coach Jacob Jackomas demanded his team come and play with more passion and more intensity, and they've done that in the opening quarter here. Tyler Harvey with 10 first quarter points. The Hawks lead by 2 in what's been a pretty promising showing, Pete.
I mean, it's no surprise. The Illawarra Hawks leading at quarter time, put up 20 points in the first 10 minutes, and Tyler Harvey got going. Yes, they go hand in hand. They're going to continue to do that because that's the kind of role that he has on this team.
Speaking of someone that needs to get going is Chris Golding. Took 2 field goals for that first quarter, but it's a marriage that you have to work out. Do you get him to be a facilitator, get him to set some screens himself, to be able to get open or run him off some screens? They're just locking him down at the moment, are Illawarra.
Just 4 players have scored for Illawarra despite the lead. Ding Ding misses the 3. He's one of them. Matiang's got 2 points, Froling 6 and Harvey 10 for the Hawks. Makes up their total of 20. Ratan Mays out to Aquera. He's 3 balls short. Harvey, who's provided plenty of energy, comes back the other way.
Oh, it's awfully close to back court.
Almost to back court. About as close as you'd want to go. Seaver inside, Froling. Didn't find anywhere to go, so kicked it back out to Peyton Seaver. Couldn't get the 3 to go. The Hawks will get another look. Harvey with the floater. That one's a bit strong. Humphries pulls down the rebound. Let's head courtside. Matt Russell.
Point opening quarter from Illawarra. You've got to go back 3 games. The third quarter against New Zealand in round 3 to find another 20-point quarter from the Hawks. Jacob Jackomas really happy. He said 8 stops, but we want 12 in this quarter. Everything is defensively now focused for the Hawks. If you can't defend, he said, tell me, I'll get you off. We can't make any mistakes right here. Own the defensive glass. Over to you, Brad Rosen.
Yeah, Dean Vickerman, well, he just said we gave up 20, which is a little bit more than we wanted, but that's letting Tyler Harvey get off. So we're all saying the same thing here. As long as Tyler's not going, we'll be fine. Melbourne United were happy.
Well, you mentioned, Jenny, that teams come into John Cain Arena and play well, but Melbourne United have been one of those teams that notoriously play players into form. It's just something that it seems to always happen. They have the target on their back. Now, I'm going back last year, is Mikhail McIntosh, who was struggling awfully for the Jack Jumpers, went into John Cain Arena, had a career game, and probably saved his season in that. And it's happened a few times. Kev White had some big games in John Cain Arena against Melbourne United. It's a bit of a running joke, a bit of an inside running joke, but good to see Tyler Harvey find some form in this one early.
It's probably the case of also the pressure's not on. You know, when you come up against Melbourne United, you're expected that you're potentially going to get a loss in previous years' time, and you go, well, I'm just going to go out and, you know, try my hardest and do what I can, and hopefully it works out tonight. Tyler Harvey, thus far in the first quarter, it is, as they're playing him really physical right now, and the referees are allowing it. But a beautiful back cut there by Peyton Seaver, but Melbourne United got a long way to go on this one.
Froling's a little bit strong underneath. United can retake the lead here. Ratan Mays, beautiful layoff, Barker to Humphries, nice find.
And that's that poor defensive pressure or the ability to guard your yard that Illawarra have struggled with this season, and they did it really badly against Brisbane the other night, not knowing where their shooters were, Kadee and Sobey, and same thing there down on the defensive end, just too easy and sloppy on the defensive end.
United's first lead in this ball game since the score was 3-2. In the very early stages. Harvey, Seaver, Swakala Bullock, Froling and Deng out there for the Hawks.
That's a great pass, good pocket pass from Peyton Seaver. Good finish from Deng Deng. Instead of just trying to go through the contact, took that extra step. Those long steps once he gets that gather.
Couple for Deng Deng early. Barker. 3 was miles off.
Might file that underhand scoop from XRM in the unnecessary category.
Froling takes it inside, runs into the brick wall that is Isaac Humphries. Now Harvey goes to work. Thought about the step back. Wants the 2-man game with Froling.
Oh, that's a pretty tough call. Like a tough call on Lockie Barker. He did exceptionally well to close the gap on Tyler Harvey when he tries to get to his step back going right. It's been unorthodox, so have another look at it here. Watch Lockie Barker, this step back from Tyler Harvey coming right there, closes the gap, then tries to stay with him and just gets caught up with that left arm going around.
My question is who made the contact first.
Well, that's exactly right.
Considering how the game has been refereed thus far, but great job there from Lockie Barker, but Tyler Harvey, just the ability to move without the ball is poetry in motion.
Seaver lines up the triple. That won't go. Of course, Barker's first Melbourne United start. David Aquera in the starting lineup for United tonight as well for the first time. He started an NBL game. Here is Aquera with the catch in the mid-post. He's quickly doubled. Cedar takes it away. Hawks with a chance to get out and run. Harvey on the right wing. Deng was underneath the cup. Harvey from way downtown.
Well, they've absolutely dodged that one. That's just a breakdown in communication on the defensive end from Melbourne United. Tyler Harvey, and there you go. Dean Vickerman's seen enough. David Aquera was one who came down and had to basically match up with Tyler Harvey. You can't have your matchups in transition, whoever the closest man possible. You can't leave the ball, especially not the guy who's got 10 points in the game. But he'll take a seat, and here comes Dave Barlow.
Tied at 22. Hawks by 2. That is by as many as 6 in the opening period. Later tonight, Sydney and Cairns coming your way. Double header in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
And that's one Sam Froling just doesn't need to be out there so far away from the rim. Isaac Humphries isn't a threat there. He's not going to shoot it in your face, and if he does, then I would, as a coach, put my hand up and go, that's fine, I'll wear that one. But for Sam to give that up is just, you know, one that he would wish he could probably get back.
Well, it's just one that could potentially take him out of a contest at the rim. There's just no need to do it. Yes, you want to be aggressive as Rachel Tucker. It's a strong finish at the rim himself.
6 points for Tucker coming off the bench tonight. As Dean Vickerman shuffles that Melbourne United starting 5. Seaver with the left hand, can't get it to go, and Matyang comes in with a putback.
Tough start for Payne Seaver, 0 of 7 in this one, and he's not going to get an easy one than this. It's downhill, refuses the ball screen. Matyang's there to put a lid on it.
He may be 0 from 7, but I feel like he's doing a really good job of playmaking and getting some creation on the offensive end for Illawarra, something that we know that they've been missing, and obviously he's been put in this lineup to do that. So whilst he isn't on the scoreboard from a points perspective, I still think they're better off with him rather than without him.
Here we go, Screeny. 0 of 7 on the season. Does he make this one?
I'm not calling that.
Oh, never in doubt.
Bottom of the cup.
And that's where, as you mentioned with the Burgers, he was 0 of 7 before that. Get all your free throws out of the way at home. Don't have to worry about it then. That and when you play in New Zealand. Can't give away in New Zealand.
Never look like missing. Take that form and run it forward. And then go Matyang. Hawks back in front. After United took the lead to start this second period. Joel Peterson, 2-time Olympian Jenny Screen, NBL champion Pete Hawley with you. Quick answer for United. Swakala Bullock got away with a push-off there. Seaver turns the corner. Ratan Mays hits the floor, and Swakala Bullock hits the 3.
That's a good knockdown from Swakala Bullock, because he struggled this season, just 26% from deep, and he's a 3-and-D kind of guy. And speaking of defense, you see this 2-3 zone here from the Illawarra Hawks, just trying to shake things up, which is a good thing to have in your back pocket. But what you can't do is let shooters get open looks. Living that, you're going to take XRM shooting it instead of the one more to Chris Golding, who just cannot find a field goal attempt.
You can't indeed. I mean, it's tough. There's only one basketball, and you've got a lot of studs on the Melbourne United team. They're still trying to work it out, how to get him the ball, but he's also getting a lot of attention, which means other guys are going to be open and have to learn how to knock it down as well.
There's 2 shots for Golding thus far. Newley underneath. Ratan Mays hangs, can't hit. Has it ripped away by Deng Deng.
Well, Ratan Mays, what a pass.
Seaver, almost the finish. Matyang inside. Here's Golding, lines up a triple. Can't get it to go.
That was always going to go up, because he knew Brad Newley was going to be looking for him, and loves trail threes. It might seem weird to have a wing slowly run down the floor in those situations, but he tries to find the gaps where the defense isn't locked into him. Screeny and I might have a look at halftime on the screen, just how they're playing defense, locking into him. That's where they're going to have to try and use him maybe as a bit of a scapegoat, but run him into other opportunities. And it's been a good little 1-2 punch from Seaver and Matyang.
Little 5-0 run here for the Hawks, gives them the lead at 30-26. Matyang with the turnaround. Tucker in the corner, waltzes his way inside. Newell's wide open.
Nice to see Newell's drain one from deep. He's had some great looks in their recent games, in the minutes he's been playing, and hasn't been able to find the bottom of the net. That's a nice one for the vet.
It was 1 of 11 coming into the night from downtown. Swakala Bullock made one earlier, thought about it there. King comes off the curl, back out to Wani. That one's well short. Kept alive, but straight to Barlow. Tucker chucks it away. And then looks on in frustration.
It does seem like that, Bulls, doesn't it? We'll come back to it as we go down to Maddie Russell. We'll talk about their frustration in a minute.
When Mango Mathiang went on for Sam Froling, Jen, Jacob Jacoma said, give me 4 big minutes, and the big man answered the call. That's one of his best patches of play this season. Rebounding, making a free throw, getting the crowd into it. Well done, Mango Mathiang.
People might forget, this is a man who's tasted the NBA with the Charlotte Hornets and mini-game Australian teammate of my own. He's just such an incredible character to have around the club, but it was only 18 months ago. He basically had to learn how to walk again, going through some really bad injuries, and just to see him back on the floor, he's an infectious character. He's one of those guys you want to have in your locker room. He's slowly starting to build his confidence back, which is great to see.
Provides plenty of energy with the way he goes about it on the floor as well.
Oh, he's a pork chop, no doubt about it.
Rolling inside. Strong move. 2 more for Sam Froling. He's got 8 in the ball game as we see him go to work on the Amy replay.
And he does love a spin move, rather, does Sam Froling. But it's so nice. Young player. Well, I think we forget that he's only 22 years of age. We know that he just made the Boomers roster as well for their qualifier series coming up. But good to see him bounce back after what he would probably consider one of his probably poorer performances against Brisbane the other night.
Certainly got a close one here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Now King gets out in the open floor. Guarded by Brad Newley. Ding up top. Froling down low. Harvey wants the ball. He won't get it. Froling with 5 on the shot clock. Ends up just throwing it away.
Isaac Humphries has actually been pretty solid in that all year long so far. All Melbourne United.
Starting to get back to some of his best, Isaac Humphries.
There you go, Joel, you're 2 for 2.
2 for 2 alls. Undefeated so far as Deng rolls his way inside. The ball rolls its way outside the cup. So not much scoring on offer for either side here in this second period so far. Humphries can't get it to go.
See Dean Vickerman barking instructions, basically trying to play point guard as the coach from the sideline, trying to get everybody in the same spot, just nobody on the same page. That was a pretty good look in the end from Isaac Humphries. That's a tough finish. Can't do much more than that from Humphries. Tyler Harvey's just trying to turn a corner.
And Dean Vickerman has seen enough as Illawarra again go on. Another little mini run to open the game up by 5. Under 2 minutes remaining in this first half. Strong move from Tyler Harvey going to the left hand.
Pretty good defense there, obviously. You know, we'd love to keep him on his right hand. He is a left-hander, loves that nice little running hook and layup finish. Beautiful work there by Tyler Harvey.
Of course, WNBL action is coming up. Screeny starts in a number of days.
It is going to be a huge season off the back of the World Cup. That just was with the girls, the Opals winning rose gold as well, so make sure we check in.
Let's go down to Brad Rosen.
Well, the WNBL does start in a couple of weeks, and I've got one of the superstars here, another Froling family member. Keely, how are we going?
Yeah, really good. I'm really happy to be here and excited to be watching Sam.
So let's talk about the brothers first. There must have been some fun growing up. We had Shane on last week, and apparently you're the one that won all the games.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was physical as well.
Yeah, really physical and super competitive. So it's always been super competitive.
So can I ask, like now with the WNBL starting in a couple of weeks, how's pre-season? Has Shane been trying you guys out?
Yeah, we do a lot of running, but it's been really good, and we've got a really good pre-season, and we're ready to go for round 1.
So it was an okay season last year for the Flames, and I know it was one of those things building as we go. What do we expect this season?
A lot bigger things this year. We've had some pre-season games, and we've been really happy with them. Obviously, we're going to build a lot on that, but already a lot better than last year.
Well, I'm looking forward to you tearing up the league because I know that's going to happen. Good luck for the season, and I hope Sam gets a win here for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Good on you, Brad. Thanks to Keely, of course, part of the Froling foursome. Alicia
and don't
at
forget Mum and
Bendigo.
Dad, who are great
Yes.
players themselves. I could imagine the 3-on-3 games in the backyard.
Well, I'm putting my money down on Keeley and the king of the court every day of the week.
Oh, yeah. Do not mess with Miss Keeley Froling.
They're a talented, talented family, that is for sure. Of course, WNBL Wednesday night, grand final rematch, Perth and Melbourne. So much on offer.
So the way they're guarding Chris Golding, basically not playing a box and one, but may as well be. They're just living in his pocket. They're going to get layups like that. And Isaac Humphries has had a couple. We saw Brad Newley have a couple. Melbourne United are going to have to start knocking these down. You're not going to get much better looks with the way they're basically playing 4-on-4.
Madronya in the corner. He can't hit. So just over a minute remaining in this opening half. Illawarra lead it by 5. They've led by as many as 6 in the opening half. And
the one time they don't, you just can't give him any space. If you're in that zone, you've got to make sure you know where he is, because expect the next one to get up before half-time.
A few United fans very happy about that one. They drove, what, 9 hours to see him lace triples, and Golding's got on the end of one. Here's Deng, turning back to the middle, around and out. No hometown roll on that occasion for Deng. United back on the offensive end. Golding underneath. They whip it around. Humphries for 3. The big fella steps it outside.
Not probably the guy that you thought would knock down the 3, but will take it. But the ball movement there was absolutely exceptional.
It's not going to get highlighted. Brad Newley's quick thinking there was exceptional. And I like that they ran something for Chris Golding. They haven't done that all season long. He's hit a 3 and he seems to just disappear on the offensive end.
Oh, Seaver tosses it over his head. Madronya's wide open for 3. They'll get another look here. Froling unloads, and then Madronya tosses it away.
Hickey ready to fire. There he goes. Got to get that one up.
Stationed in the corner. Look at that, nice find, Pete.
Yeah, he's ready to go in the shot pocket. You don't get too many good passes corner to corner like that.
So Lockie Dendy to the game for a bit of energy on this defensive possession for the Hawks. They've not led by more than 2 in the game, United. They lead by 1. Seaver with the takeaway on half-time. Inside to Froling to beat the buzzer.
People forget Peyton Seaver was exceptional with his hands last season, just getting deflections, steals. That's what he does so well. Good way for them to get momentum back going into halftime.
What a way to end the first half for the Hawks. They beat the buzzer through Sam Froling, and they lead by 1 at home.
to win a championship and come back and win the regular season, you know that you did a lot of things right.
United, they stand.
Yeah, I don't dwell on it too much other than, what do we add from that last part? Bringing guys together is firstly this. How quickly can we have them understand how we've gone about it previously?
He's playing inspired basketball. That's good.
That's helpful.
And what things that we need to add with the new group. There's been, a buy-in that's coming, but it hasn't been quick as they want it.
The scoreboard will say a 20-point margin, but it's the damage that the Kings have done to another contender that might be the biggest story out of this one.
With this group, we've kind of hit really quick culture hits. We've had, 20-minute hits after practice a couple of days a week about, our standards, how we go about it, what our trademark is, how we relate to our trademark, what it looks like on the floor. I feel like early in the year, we're going to have to hit it pretty hard.
Melbourne do it the hard way, win on their home floor to start the NBL23 season.
Barlow and CG and these guys, and now Shea, as leaders of our club, we're asking those guys to do a whole lot more, as a collective, with them being the experienced players on our roster.
Dean Vickerman, our Coach of the Year, a championship winner in the NBL, but Melbourne are a long way from championship winners right now. They're trailing Illawarra at halftime, 36-35. Brad Rosen. These teams came into the game as the lowest scorers in the league with the worst percentages, and the scoreboard reflects that. But still, it's an excitingly tight game.
I'm really enjoying this, Matty. I think these teams are coming out here and they know they've got to get a win. They're both playing hard. Some shots aren't dropping, but they're not doing it from lack of energy. Both teams coming in, playing hard, and it's a good game.
The Hungry Jacks highlights will feature Tyler Harvey because he leads all scorers with 12 points. Made his first 3 triples, and that's a breakthrough result for Tyler, who's had a tough start of the season from distance.
Look, it's exactly what he would have wanted. He has had a tough start, but he's come out and gone bang, 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 and that's exactly what you want when you're a scorer of this one. This one, well, that's just not good enough for Melbourne. But for Tyler, he's still got to knock it down. He's finished the half with 12 points. He's now got to go on with it in the second half because they need him, Illawarra.
Yeah, let's have a look where Harvey has nailed his points from, and you can see 3 outside, then 1 inside the circle. And they went to Peyton Seaver, but he wasn't having a good shooting night. By the time they went back to Tyler, he came up with his first miss. I wonder whether they should have just kept it in Tyler's hands more than they did.
Yeah, it's very hard because you want to also get Peyton going. They know they need him as well, and with Peyton doing what he's done, it's only his second game back. It's going to take him quite a while to get used to this league again, even though he was here last year. But to me, I like the way they've played their first half. They've just got to stay with that momentum.
Sam Froling nearly a double-double to half-time. 9 rebounds, 10 points. That after he went 1 from 11 on Monday night in Brisbane. So he has rebounded outstandingly.
Well, what does Boomer players do? They show that they should be there, and that's what he's done tonight. He didn't have a great game, and he'd be the first one to say that. But he comes out a couple of days later and says, I am that player that I should be. And tonight, he's been great. Missed a couple of bunnies, but he hasn't stopped. 10 and 9, double-double coming. Exactly what you want from your star player.
Great chat with his sister Keely, sitting sideline right beside Dad Shane, urging Sam and the Hawks on to try and snap this 5-game losing streak. Chris Golding, quiet again in the first half. 1 of 4, and that one made shot came really late in the half. How do they get bubbles going?
Look, it's a two-folded thing here. Number one, they keep going to Chris. He's got to be able to make those plays, and the shots will drop. He's too good. But as many shots as he's missing, it's also opening up for others. I mentioned that in one of the timeouts. He missed a shot, but it enables players to be able to get the offensive rebounds and be able to put the ball back in. I'm not worried about that guy missing because you know he can come out with a 20-point half very easily. He is the CG43 for a reason. Let's hope it comes for the second half.
Isaac Humphries strong as well in the first half. His numbers are promising, Brad.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think everything that these both teams have been doing will be very happy with that. For me right now, I think the Melbourne United can go on with this, but they've got to play with the energy.
I wonder whether the home side can hang on. They're up by 1 at the half, 36-35, 2 desperate teams facing 2 more incredibly important quarters before we're done at the sandpit and we head up to the Harbour City for the Kings against the Taipans.
Hey fans, this season with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we are giving away a guaranteed $50,000. And like these NBL legends, Wortho and Gibbo, you can be a Latrobe Financial legend. All you need to do is send in a clip of you making a half-court shot for your chance to win a semifinals opportunity to shoot from half court for $50,000. All thanks to Latrobe Financial. Head to the NBL website now to enter.
Entertaining clash in the first leg of our Saturday night doubleheader. Hawks by 1 at the half. This season, thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win. Impressive opening half from the Hawks, Pete, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, let's have a look at these clips. This is the way they're guarding Chris Goulding, basically staying in his pocket. So Peyton Seaver's guarding him now. He's not leaving him whatsoever. There's no help side defense. They're not having any gaps. When he does get into some screens, it's a late switch from Sam Froling, closes the gap on, forces a tough shot. That was one. This is where they have to try and, if he's going to sit in the corner, they're not playing help side D. Look at Swakala Bullock, always in his pocket. You get into a layup situation. If you're going to have him in the corner and not run him off staggers, you're going to open up layups. But this one right here, screen, is what we were talking about. He gets a bit of space downhill. Who are you going to go to? Yes, Brad Newley knocks his three down, but they don't even try to over-rotate. They are so worried about where Chris Goulding is. Other players are going to have to make plays.
If I'm Melbourne United right now, what I'm doing is getting Chris Goulding on the weak side. They don't have to play on the strong side because they don't have to help out of that, and they're just compacting where he is anyway. Get him on the weak side. Then if his player doesn't rotate, then you can open up. But let's run some staggers for him. Let's get him coming off screens rather than sitting in the corner and have his man have to move.
Start of the second half. Humphries goes to work, can't get it to go. Hawks, of course, coming in on a 5-game losing streak. United on a 3-game skid of their own. Hawks trying to improve to 2-6. And they've got one more game before the FIBA international window. It's the first of 4 in 9 games for United before they get a spell. And the Hawks go into the second half up by 1. Seaver right back to work, gets the hometown roll.
And he gives a little fist pump because he's missed some easy ones in the first half. And speaking of missing easy ones, Isaac Humphries, 3 of 8 from the field. He is just having a tough time finishing in this one so far.
Been the focal point of their offense, really, the way that they've used him right from the early stages. Here he is, and that's more like it, Pete Hooley.
Well, it is, and he's probably should be well and truly into double figures because he's done well spacing-wise to get to those dunker spots. He's just got to be able to finish it more consistently.
Froling's been better tonight, takes it all the way in with the left-hand jam. That's a big slam from Sam.
That's where they probably should use Sam Froling a lot more. Brian Goorjian did it in the last couple of years. When you put him in that high post, run cutters off, whether he hands it off or not, because when he likes to get to his left hand, he's one dribble from the high post and he throws it down. He's got incredible length and athleticism.
Tan Mays outside, rattles out. Can't control the rebound, Swanee.
Here it is.
Bullet.
So a little fake handoff. He loves the fake handoff and goes, turns the corner, and he's caught a couple of bodies. Going like that.
So new 14 for United off the inbound. Rattan Mays can't get it to go. He's fouled on the way through. Rattan Mays leads Melbourne United with 10 points. Isaac Humphries has 9. Froling and Harvey both with 12. 10 of Harvey's 12 came in the first quarter when he really lit things up. He's 3 of 4 from downtown.
On track right now to cut the streak of 3 consecutive 25-plus point losses for the Illawarra Hawks. It's been a tough couple of games, and at least it doesn't look like they're going to get to that stretch of the last team to lose 4 straight by 25-plus, the West Side Melbourne Saints. How's Statman getting into the archives for that one? And then the NBL, that was in the 40-minute era. The NBL record going all the way back to the Sydney Supersonics. Yes. Lost 8 games straight by 30-plus.
Including losing to Coburg by 88.
Well, it's going to be tough to beat that in the 40-minute era, let alone in general. It was Peyton Seaver. He's knocked down his last 2.
He may have found his shot in the change room at halftime. He was really good in game 1. 3 of 5 from deep. We know he can drain it. Good to see it's finding the bottom of the net early in this third quarter.
Aquera inside, spinning his way and spinning it home.
promising young talent, David Aquera, going to get more opportunities as the season goes on. And I've kind of seen that throughout the NBL. It's the mention what the NBL is. When you're a young guy, you're coming in, you're a development player, you get a roster spot, you just wait for those opportunities. And sometimes it could be with an injury to someone. Ario Hukporti goes down, Aquera is going to get more of that, and he's slowly growing.
This season, with thanks to Latrobe Financial, we're giving away a guaranteed $50,000. Enter now at nbl.com.au/legends for your chance to win.
And we don't have to go back too far. You look at last year with Bull Qual in Cairns in the preseason, wasn't going to play much, if at all. They go through all the injuries, Scott Machado, Tajir McCall, all those different guys, and then ends up being Rookie of the Year and a really valuable piece for Adam Ford with what he's building up there.
Was played under Dave Barlow at Sandringham. David Aquera in the NBL1 competition. Plenty familiar with a few of his teammates out there. Seaver puts Barker on the floor and hits the free throw line jumper.
That's a veteran move, and someone that's played European basketball over 250 games. Just that composure and poise coming off the pick and roll there. Just that little bit of crab dribble. And was able to work out what the defense was doing and finish with a nice bucket.
Seaver's up to 7. Throws it inside.
That's great.
There's all kinds of hands in there.
That's a phenomenal hustle from Wani Swakula Bullock. He was the first one on the floor and ends up causing the fumble from Melbourne United.
Jacob Jackomas wanted them to play with more energy, with more passion, with a bit more physicality.
And he's the type of player that will bring that. We know that way. He's recruited that way. He's a lockdown defender, loves the drive, can shoot the three as well, but that energy that he brings on the defensive end, and we know that's where they've lacked all season thus far. Yep, they can't shoot it, but if you can't shoot it, you might as well control something, and that's the defensive end.
Well, I love that. The whole bench getting around them. Those are the kind of 1%ers that they don't take skill. That's just effort, and they have not had that over the past couple of weeks, really, to start the season.
And it's the kind of thing that when you're struggling, to see it rewarded, that it starts to generate and it starts to perpetuate itself.
Well, rewarded so much that you go take a seat. I don't know what's going on there. You probably keep him on a little bit. Say, look, it's the first guy. We're trying to start something. We're trying to build a trend. Sam Froling came out and said how disappointed they were, and get a guy on the ground, causes a turnover, and we'll bench him.
He's taking a seat next to Kevin White on that bench, who's made a career at various levels in Australian basketball, doing just that as Seaver chucks it ahead to King. The outlet pass hits the target, and the Hawks are up by an equal game-high 6.
And King's first minutes for the half, considering he had to sit for a fair bit in the first half with those 3 fouls. Probably left Chris Golding a little bit too open on that 3, but wasn't able to lock it down, but ran off to the races for that easy 2.
I'd owe them a few. Still George King. Golding chucks it inside. Humphreys.
Too long. In there for an awfully long time and got whistled eventually.
And you can see the hesitation from George King right now in terms of defense. You can see he doesn't want to foul. So if I'm Melbourne United, as we listen to...
Well, Jacob Jackomas is screaming for a delay of game because it's been the topic for the last couple of weeks. The shot after the whistle was a delay of game warning.
But hopefully this is a timeout for Melbourne United where they get to talk about how they can exploit George King.
So 6-point lead to Illawarra. It's an equal game high at 47-41. Let's get courtside Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I've got a very special guest here, Luke Popel, who is a Commonwealth Games gold medalist in the 3-on-3 wheelchair. Luke, tell us about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a crazy experience, and you know, going over there was just a whole new world, really. You know, like we didn't know if we were actually going to get there, and Commonwealth Games are so new to wheelchair basketball on 3-on-3, so just the experience altogether was awesome.
So you're also nominated, if I'm not mistaken, the Illawarra Sports Award with one Sam Froling, so that's very exciting. When's that about?
When? Yeah. It's in the start of November, so I think it's on the 10th, and I mean, I saw the list that came out with the people that I'm up against. It's Volkanovski and Sam and Ben Hunt and all these guys. It's just really surreal to be, you know, among that company, but you know, I think I've got plenty of friends and family voting for me, so fingers crossed.
Good luck with it. Now, I believe basketballer by night, but graphic designer by day. You've got the Illawarra singlet on here, or the shirt, I should say. You work for the front office.
Yeah, I've been working here for the last couple of seasons and loving it. You know, passionate about basketball and put that into what I do, you know, for a job, and also doing it as my sport. So I'm pretty lucky.
Back to the basketball. What's next?
We got World Championships next year. And then we got some more 3-on-3 stuff coming up, and that'll go into Paris and all that kind of stuff. So plenty of basketball coming up for us.
Fantastic to have you. Let's hope your Illawarra Hawks here get a win for you, and thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Brad. Thanks, Luke. He's a member of a rollers team that won a Wheelchair Basketball World Championship as well as a Commonwealth Games gold medal. Froling tries to beat the shot clock. That one's off the side of the backboard. The great things about the Commonwealth Games, of course, the parasports held alongside the able-bodied athletes. Such an inclusive event and so many great Australian athletes in all sports doing well in Birmingham earlier this year as Aquera makes a nice move and cuts the lead back to 4.
Defensively, Illawarra is still in the pocket of Chris Goulding, and that's where it's advantageous for them to put Chris on the weak side to allow what's happening on the strong side action, because we know they're not going to get any help from his player.
Here's Aquera in the open court. Look out.
Well, the finish looked good. Looked like he might have lost the ball a couple of times on that breakaway, but a good little period here from Aquera. Just trying to spark some energy in this United group.
Making his first career start tonight. Wide open corner 3. Goes up and around for Wani Swakala Bullock, and the Hawks will get another look at it. 5 of 17 from downtown Illawarra tonight. Peyton Seaver in and out with the dribble, gets past Aquera, Froling, corner 3 ball. Yes!
Well, I'm not sure I've seen too many 1-minute patches from one player who shoots the ball in the exact same spot. One time hits the back of the side of the backboard, and the next one's nothing but net. And Peyton Seaver doing what he does best, creating for other people. Froling has his feet set, and that one never looked like missing. Where the other one, well,
it did. But Peyton Seaver obviously doing a great job, as you said, with 7 assists. He's just been a factor for them in this game. We saw highlights of it against Brisbane, even though it was a big loss for them. But it just changes the makeup for Illawarra and allows a sigh of relief for someone like Tyler Harvey, who can get some nice, better looks at the rim.
And he's rewarded by heading to the bench as Goulding knocks in a triple for United.
And that's why, look, if you're the Illawarra Hawks, you'd be going into halftime really happy with how well you stuck to the scout and said, look, we're not going to let Chris Goulding beat us. We'll let everybody else have a crack at doing so. They don't think there's enough there. But you've got to stay locked in now, because it only takes one shot for him to really break open. Knock one down there.
Thoughts of Pete Hooley alongside 2-time Olympian Jenny Screen. Saturday night hoops on the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Froling is an absolute beast on the glass. 10 rebounds for the game, 4 of them offensive. He's not going to get credited for that, but the fouls, someone's fouled him, so basically it goes down as 1 for all his efforts.
And right now, effort for me from Illawarra is exceptional compared to Melbourne United. I just feel like they're going after the ball a lot better on the offensive glass. They're getting deflections. It may not show up on the stat sheet. It's allowing them to be a lot more impactful on the offensive end when they're just doing the blue-collar, hard, gritty stuff that we know Illawarra City is known for, that blue-collar kind of work.
George King's fouled, shooting a 3 ball. So he's going to step to the line as Tucker came across.
George King landed in front of the 3-point line. There's always a lot of conversations about that with players who like to jump forward or like to kick their legs out, but it's not a kick your leg out, more of just where he landed.
This season, thanks to MG, we're giving away a brand new MG ZS EV electric car valued at $44,990. And enter now at nbl.com/winmg. Lots of good stuff to give away. New car for a new family member, maybe, Hulls?
I actually do need one. I mean, I bought one a couple of years ago, but I put the baby seat in and struggled to fit in there.
So you'll be heading to nbl.com.au/winmg.
I will be. I might have a chat to MG for sure, but it's been a great 7 days with the little one. Learned that the phrase overtired is a real thing, and that is actually scares me to death.
Very exciting news. Very happy for you here in the NBL family.
Oh.
Goulding inside, nice find to Humphreys.
And that's one thing he can do. If he can't find a shot for himself, you can bet your bottom dollar he has the ability to hit a player and get a great assist.
He's got 3 of them, and just the 2 made field goals tonight. Chris Goulding is still doing his bit and keeping United in this ball game. Both teams desperately need a win just to regain some momentum in this season. King for 3. That one won't go. Tucker comes in from the top of the 3-point line to pull in the defensive rebounds. United with the chance to hit the front. Illawarra staying connected on the defensive end. Barker from downtown, that won't go. Oh, George King almost stepped on the baseline.
He's definitely stepped on that, but maybe his heels are up, but it was awfully close.
White shoes blended in nicely with the stripe, I reckon.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, and then some really physical players. Tucker came in, and another hip and shoulder from George King.
Yeah, and this is the strange thing for me. 2 of his 4 fouls have just been what I would call poor decision-making skills in terms of he had that one in the backcourt that gave him his 3rd and made him have to sit, and then they're just overzealous with the contact and not necessary. He's athletic enough to just be able to pull up and take that jump shot, but just veering in way too hard.
And it's the right play where you've got the defense beat and you're just trying to wait for him. Delhi has made a living off it, where it's kind of like that snake dribble, keep the defense on your back, but you don't have to take the dribble into them. You can just stay there and kind of use your body. He's strong enough to kind of hold Tucker at bay. And Tucker probably put a bit of mayo on it, but in the end, it was a foul every day of the week.
Another nice find from Golding to Humphreys. You talk about a snake dribble, Pete?
So you're coming off that ball screen, and when the defense gets caught up on the screen, you snake back in front of it, so the defense can never get a chance to get back. Your primary defender never gets a chance to get back in front. So right there, Rajon Tucker has time to get back in front of that. If Tyler Harvey goes right hand to left, and you keep Tucker behind you, you kind of snake in front of him. And if you ever watch Delhi play, it's exactly what he does off every ball screen.
One of the patented moves from the man from Maryborough. Takeaway for the Melbourne United defence. Tied away to 52. 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Barlow goes to work. That won't go. Humphreys trying to pull in another rebound. Been the 7th of the game. He's been very active. Ding to Swakala Bullock from downtown.
26%. Come again. Not shooting it like that confidently. Swakala Bullock in this game starting to heat up now. Scoring starting to flow a little bit more.
Consider Illawarra averaged 59 in their past 3 outings. They've got 55 before 3/4 time. And Tucker's called for steps.
That's the offense that not worked for Melbourne United so far this season, where you kind of get the ball side to side and then it gets stagnant. Have another look. Swakala Bullock, Chris Golding, that's part of the scout. Go underneath. The way he's been shooting it this season, you got to make him pay. The defense doesn't respect it. Step in and knock it down with confidence.
So 1.5 minutes left in this 3rd period. Illawarra have really controlled the game in terms of the margin for the majority of it. Harvey had 10 points in the opening frame. He got busy. Matchiang loses it, regathers it, lays it home.
Great job by the big fella to just continue on to play. Could have been called for a travel there, but just persisted and was able to get the ball back, and a nice little left-hand finish at the rim.
I'm not sure what that was. I'm not sure he knew what that was.
His own give and go, I think.
Oh, we'll take it.
So lead is 5. It's been as many as 6, and Barlow's making sure it's no more than 2.
Talk about a guy that obviously was retired, has won multiple championships, and then comes into the lineup, but not only that, but then into a starting position and drains a long 3.
Top to the bottom of the screen's not working, but you can see at the top of the shot clock, 28 seconds to go in this quarter. Tyler Harvey, that's a layup for him tonight. That's his 4-3. 20 seconds now left on the game clock. What can Melbourne United get up? Shot clock's turned off.
And they find something here heading into 3/4 time. Melbourne United faded away in a couple of final quarters already this season. A trail by 5. Rattan Mays goes to work with 5 remaining before 3/4 time. Outside, Barlow to beat the buzzer. Dave Barlow goes bang!
How many times have we seen him do that in his career? Just make the big shots when it matters, down the stretch in crucial times. Barlow's done it for a long, long time.
He breathes some life into the United charge. At 3/4 time, it's Illawarra by 2. Three-quarter time in the sandpit. Illawarra trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Melbourne United have come to town and they are making them earn it. Here's a 2-point game at three-quarter time. And it has been entertaining so far, Pete Hooley.
Well, it has. I mean, both teams just picking up their offensive output in that third quarter. Dave Barlow there knocking down the buzzer beater 3. Hit one just before that. And he's been in hospital very recently. I'm not sure how many days ago he came out, but he's got a bit of an infection in that elbow. So it's good to see him even out there. They're depleted in big men, no doubt about it. If he was down, they'd be really struggling.
He's made comebacks a thing in the last couple of months, hasn't he? Dave Barlow, come back from retirement, come back from some illness.
Come back to starting 5.
Absolutely. Some physicality to start this final period. Tyler Harvey is incensed as he picks himself up off the floor.
He's asking for a review here because he thinks Rattan Mays just bowled into him. And look, absolutely he did, but if you're not in position, if there's the contact, it's going to be awfully hard to look at it, try and overturn it. It looks like we may be getting a coach's challenge here.
Going to go and take a look at the video. An early start to this final period. Illawarra up by 2, and challenging the call on the floor is Jacob Jackomas. So both sides had a chance to talk it over at three-quarter time. Call is a block on Tyler Harvey.
They're both going for the ball, but he's still moving to left. It's going to be awfully hard to overturn it. I mean,
I think it's a foul. I think it's a blocking foul on Harvey. In reality, I don't think it's a foul that actually needs to happen at all, but we'll listen to the referee here.
The coach's challenge is unsuccessful. The foul will stand on black line.
I mean, this is the whole thing with the coach's challenge. I love it because it can swing momentum at crucial periods. But even if that's not good, it's Tyler Harvey's second foul. What are you really gaining off it? You're not sending him to the free throw line. There's not a whole lot to gain off it when it's a 50-50. Not even that. That was probably a 98.2% chance you were going to lose that one because he's still moving. I know it's 2 players going for the ball, but you're not in legal guarding position or legal position and get run into him.
So let's go court side. Illawarra up by 2. Matt Russell.
Yeah, 60-58. The scene is set for Chris Golding to break Hawks' hearts. Trouble is, he's 2 of 6 from the field for this game so far. And in his last 5 games, he hasn't made a final quarter 3. He's 0-5 outside in the last 5 games. Brad Rosen, to you.
Yeah, don't think Jacob Jackomas doesn't know that as well. He employed his guys, please, no threes. You must get stops. They talked about Barlow as well. And in the offensive end, he just said, let loose and have fun.
Let's hope both teams do that, Brad, here in this final period. Rattan Mays is going to let loose.
Well, that's great. Great help defense from Tyler Harvey because there was the mismatch. XRM going at Mango Mathiang. Tyler Harvey basically went to double team but didn't fully commit. Was going to leave Malawatch open for 3 if they did find him. It's good team defense.
All of Melbourne United's 6 games so far this season, the team at three-quarter time that has led has gone on to win. Nice find from Siva. Mathiang pushes it home with the left hand.
I'm not sure that stat says a whole lot because he found himself down pretty handy margin a few of those games early on.
They've won 1 final quarter for the entire season, and Illawarra have only won 1 as well.
Well, that stat definitely matters. That's a great pass.
Aquera takes it inside and soars to the hoop.
Just simple basketball. Just a nice little give and go action, pick and roll, and then a mismatch and a read and a dump down from Melbourne United to find their big player underneath the rim.
9 points, 4 of 7 shooting for David Aquera. Siva's 3 ball is offline. Deng's able to corral it in the corner. New 14 for Illawarra. Harvey now. The floater can't go. Swakala Bullock fights for it on the floor.
And that's that snake dribble that I was referencing. Tyler Harvey, you just cross back over. Don't let Rattan Mays ever get a chance to get back in front. And he gets to his floater where 90% of the time he's going to knock that one down. And he started the game on fire, Tyler Harvey. It's so rare for that this season and even last season to him coming out and finding his range. And they just didn't go to him enough.
So 2 points in the second quarter and 3 in the third.
Yeah, and he had 10 points in that first quarter and hit the first 7 for Illawarra. But this has been the flow of the game. You know, we talk about it between Illawarra and Melbourne United. They're both least amount of points on the board per game for both teams, and it's patches where they don't get some scoring output, but got to be smart enough to know where the scoring is coming from and have the ability to go back to the well.
Tyler Harvey, well, I think I might have been a little bold in him going for 50.
Well, he did score 58 in the G-League game once.
That's the sleep deprivation, though, I think, that's catching up
Correct.
with having a 7-week-old.
He's got 15. That's what I actually said. If you actually go back and slow it down, I said 15, not 50. So our elite producer has just tried to inform me that 50 was a bold prediction by myself.
Well, it certainly was bold. Malif Machar at the free throw line. Nakwach Malawach, in fact. He makes both. Played so well for the Darwin Salties in the NBL1, averaging 25 a game. But to play in front of his adopted home crowd up there in the NBL Blitz, of course, as well. We're tied at 62. Seaver dribbles across the lane. He's run the point very efficiently tonight with 9 assists for the Hawks. Matt Yang for 3. United now with a chance to hit the front. Haven't led by more than 2 in the ball game. Illawarra's biggest lead is 6. It's been played in close quarters throughout. Both sides sensing the urgency, and Seaver takes it away again.
It's the hands of Peyton Seaver. Super quick.
Harvey wants to get involved. Step back 3, way offline, almost tipped home by Deng. Aquera in the open floor. Malawach lays it home. United back in front.
Not caught wrong-footed, because you did mention him running around in Darwin Salties, one of the dunks of the year. I don't care what level it's at. 2 dribbles from half court and just detonated. Still waiting to see him on a break, getting his takeoff right.
George King's had a tough night at the office. He makes it a little bit sweeter with that.
It's always the challenge when you get into foul trouble early in the game. How do you inject yourself back into the contest? And this is the way you do it. Just composure, good poise off the pick and roll there. Didn't have to veer in at all. Just used his smarts and his footwork to get a nice little fadeaway.
So both coaches with plenty to play for, both teams with plenty to play for here. Illawarra 1-6 on the young season. Melbourne United 2-4. United, of course, with a date with Perth on John Cain Arena later in the round. And an offensive foul on United.
Well, it didn't look like Isaac Humphries moved a whole lot. Payne Seaver tried to cheat over the screen. We're having a look at it here. They run this double baseline stagger. Payne Seaver and, oh yeah, absolutely. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here shaking my head going, all I had to do is, it would have been great if Golding had have just fled to the corner there and made the read, because Seaver was trying to go over the screen, and that could have been a nice little 3 in the corner.
Seaver underneath, finds Froling, out to King. 3 balls offline. Seaver almost came up with another steal there. He's got 4 already to go with 7 points and 9 assists. And Rattan Mays makes an awkward move. Luckily, he was fouled.
That's going to be Tyler Harvey's 4th foul. And again, it's one of those ones where you just probably don't have to do it. Just time score situation. Now when the game gets on the line, the ball's going to be in his hands. So just keep your hands out, put your hands in the cookie jar, and just play solid defense.
64 apiece as we go to timeout. Lots for Jacob Jackomas to think about. Does he take Harvey out of the game now with 4 fouls, even though he can be the firecracker on offense?
Well, he's had a couple that's been taken out of his own hands because you don't want to have to do it. He just shouldn't be putting himself in that position.
No, you shouldn't, but on the other side of the court is Melbourne United, and if I'm the coach, I'm going at the 2 players that have 4 fouls.
2 of the key offensive weapons for them as well.
Absolutely. You want to go at Tyler Harvey every time you can, and then you also want to go at George King. They've both got 4 fouls. You know they're not wanting to get their 5th because they want to be out there and go to the line with this one. But if I'm in Melbourne United right now, I'm running plays at those 2 guys.
So all tied up at 64, 5:47 remaining. Both teams desperate for a victory to return to the winners list in this NBL23 season. First game of our doubleheader, Saturday night hoops in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Sydney and Cairns coming away from Kudos Bank Arena a little bit later on tonight. Let's head down courtside to find out what was said in the timeout with Brad Rosen.
Yeah, I was just watching here, and you guys are right with Tyler Harvey having 4 fouls. This is a huge couple of minutes. Peyton Seaver actually called for a sub there. He is struggling with wind and legs. Jacob did not want to call a sub for him, so he did a timeout just to give him those few minutes. So we'll just see how Peyton goes as Chris Golding knocks down a 3.
There it is. Well, we've had a bit of a reverse commentator's curse there. Highlighted he hasn't hit a 3 in the last quarter for some time.
3, that was a hand in the face and tough D. There was nothing more Illawarra could have done there.
It was
stop that one.
Always going to happen at some point, wasn't it? That Golding was going to get going. King inside. Froling collects the miss and puts it back.
He's been a beast tonight, Sam Froling. 17 points to go along with 11 rebounds. Probably should be credited for that one, because that was 100% a shot from George King.
There's no assist that can be attributed to that.
Well, he'll take it.
Tan Mays almost loses the handle. Turns the corner. Humphries little push up. Nice find.
And here you go. Here's that pick and roll action. Get either King or Tyler Harvey into that, because you know they're either going to draw a foul, as you see it. Big screen from Sam Froling. That was always fraught with danger, considering they just called one on Melbourne United.
There's no challenge anyway, but it looks like play to be the right call. Just leaning forward, putting a little bit extra into it. Maybe just kind of bracing for contact. That caused him to move at the last second. Rajon Tucker doing an exceptional job to pick up the ball. That only happens if you go up full court and play one-on-one. Don't let them just walk the ball up the floor.
Right in front of where Dad Shane and Sister Keeley were sitting courtside.
Well, I'm pretty sure back in Dad's day, he would have been able to set those screens in the backcourt, that's for sure.
That game got a little softer.
That feedback may have been provided to the referee, I'd imagine, from the Froling family. So 69-66 is an equal game-high lead for Melbourne at 3 points. Illawarra led by 6 in the opening period. Haven't quite got it back out there since. Golding, can he heat up here in this final period? That's another lovely pass inside to Humphries, who just can't get it to go.
Well, Humphries should have a 20-piece. He should have a 20-piece nugget with how many he's missed.
Maybe more. Seaver to Froling. Harvey kicked it straight back to Froling. Now into the corner. Swakalo Bullock can't get it to go.
Ooh, 5 seconds away from cueing the Benny Hill music there.
Getting messy for the Hawks. But they're still hanging around. Harvey's out there with 4 fouls. Froling's got 17 on the night for Illawarra. Newley inside. Humphries lays it home, pushes it out to a 5-point United lead.
Misses the easy one, but gets a nice little reverse there on the finish. But great penetration from the vet. That is Brad Newley to find the big fella down low.
Been excellent tonight. Brad Newley's only got the 3 points, 3 assists as well, but his activity on both ends of the floor has been what Dean Vickerman's been looking for. Oh, boy, that's just too easy. That is a training drill.
And he's got 8 on the evening.
Brad Newley might reinvent himself in this late stage of his career, playing the power forward position.
Well, he's just taking advantage of almost the box and one, if you will, that Illawarra are playing against Chris Golding and being able to put the ball on the floor.
Golding from deep, can't connect. Humphries got a hand to the rebound. Rattan Mays will reset for a new possession for United. Up by 3. Floater from Rattan Mays. Back in the old home building. He's got 13 on the night. Melbourne up by 5, under 3 minutes remaining. Harvey, Seaver, Swakalo Bullock, Froling and King out there for the Hawks. Foul off the ball. Go on Brad Newley.
Barlow checking back in to finish this one out. As mentioned, playing out of position with their lack of bigs at the moment. They've had a really strong impact.
Melbourne have taken control of this final period. They've outscored the Hawks 15-8 so far. And they lead by 5 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Dean Vickerman's got plenty to think about as he addresses his group and plenty of lessons from the season so far where they have faded out a few times. One player who's been terrific so far tonight for them United is Isaac Humphrey, 17 points. He's had 8 rebounds, and he was the focal point pretty much from the get-go.
He was, and you want to be when he's that tall and big, and he takes up a lot of space. He can attract a lot of attention down low. Not known for his outside shot, but has that ability as well. But we think 8 of 14 and 57% is a good clip, but he's missed some bunnies, as you'd like to say, down in the low post there, Peter Hooley, but it hasn't made that much a difference to Melbourne United on the scoreboard, but he just has a knack of being at the right place at the right time in this one tonight.
And this is a guy who, when he was playing with Josh Giddey Adelaide 36ers, he was, after round 10, an MVP candidate, best defensive player of the year.
Yep,
he was exceptional, and then went through some injuries and tough times, and we played his feature for you last week, and if you get a chance to go and have a look at it, he's a terrific human being, and he's been through an awful lot mentally in the last 18 months, but to be able to combine what he's doing now on the floor with his love for music and hobby away from basketball and giving back to others, he's one of those people that everybody would love to have around their club and on their team.
One of the handful have made big comebacks this season. Of course, Jordan Hunter, who's in our next game between the Kings and the Taipans, is another who's spent some time out with injury and doing good things, and it can be tough for the big fellas to do that as Swakala Bullock makes a big bucket for the Hawks.
Yeah, he averages 4 points a game, in the double figures now. Swakala Bullock, they'll take any points they can get.
They need some more contributors, the Hawks. Rattan Mays takes it in strong.
And that's the weak side help, not coming across, because you know you got Chris Golding there sitting, waiting for that 3, and RXM just putting on the jets and being able to get to the rim on that one.
So they've still got a bit of a buffer here, United to work with.
That's Regional Tucker out of position and given the continuation. Going to go to the free throw line. And this is just a veteran move in the end. So the foul is, well, that absolutely, I think there's another dribble after the initial contact. I'm not sure that should have been given continuation. But that's the veteran move. You just never know what the referee might call. As soon as that whistle, you hear that go, throw the ball at the rim.
Even if you're behind the backboard like he was. Peyton Seaver makes 1 of 2.
Smiling about it, and so it should be. I think he took an extra dribble. Doesn't matter how many steps you take. Well, it's not the NBA, but the NBA, cop a bump and take 3 dribbles and still get to the free throw line.
This is the second Peyton Seaver. He's a good free throw shooter too. 82% of his time with the Breakers last season. Couldn't cash in there. United's lead is 4. Rattan Mays from way downtown. Monstrous putback from Tucker. Absolutely huge. Seaver on the other end can't get it to go. Tucker's upstairs again. Rattan Mays throws it off Frolling.
How is the straight vert here on the Amy replay from Rachel Tucker? Puts an absolute lid on it.
And the flex, if you don't mind, after it. I would flex too if I could get up that high.
Holy bouncy.
Head above the rim.
That's as good as you'll see. And it's a game-high 6-point lead for Melbourne United. Rajon Tucker providing the highlights. 8 points on the evening. Frolling goes to work on Humphreys, trying to cut this lead back, turns to his left and lays it home.
He does love a left-hand finish. Would have been great for Isaac to keep him on his right, but nice little footwork. And another great bucket from Sam Frolling tonight. He's 19th for the game.
So they're right on their season averages, these two teams, in terms of points scored. The worst 2 offences in the competition. Tucker throws it away. Harvey back the other way. Almost lost the handle. Regathers, gets inside. Foul. Tyler Harvey will step to the stripe to reduce it to a 1-score game.
Talk about how hard is it to get a bucket in the NBL for Tyler Harvey. Had 10 at the first quarter break and 15 now, and pleading with the referees for the foul there, and gets himself to the stripe for 2, but big buckets in the context of the game. Down by 4 points. Get to narrow it here and give yourself a chance to be within
Halloween
earshot.
Halloween outfits on display. We'll put the Put the lollies out? Is it tonight? Do we do it tonight or do we do it on 31st still?
I'm pretty sure it's the 31st.
Oh, we're not just do it Saturday?
I don't know.
You don't put them out? You don't
no, I'm not a fan. It means I just eat all the chocolate and lollies, and I don't want to do that. As we see, a beautiful steal here.
Harvey takes the chocolates away.
I see what we did there.
Couldn't find the finish. Under a minute left. Melbourne 77, Illawarra 74. Hawks looking for their second win of the campaign. And United trying to go 2-0 on the road and record their third win as Golding gets inside. Humphries puts it back and won. And he is pumped.
So he should be. What a game from Isaac Humphries. 19 points to go along with 10 rebounds, a double-double. Just getting in the right spot at the right time. Sam Froling is a bit unfortunate. He turns around to the ref asking what happened. Well, what happened was your teammate Deng Deng came over and put you into the first row.
So a season high 19 for Isaac Humphries to go with 10 rebounds. Really finding his best.
Oh, he's been great.
I'm a big fan. Always have been. I think he's got huge upside, huge potential, and, you know, could be a boomer one day if he really wanted it. I don't know if he does.
He's still so young.
He is, and that's what we forget about a lot of these players. Sam Froling is another one.
It's going to be a game delay warning for jumping across the baseline. Rayton Tucker doesn't like it, but the man behind him, Dave Barlow, should be able to just give him a little heads up, because Game 4, the Grand Final Series in 2018, Dave Barlow gave away a tech jumping across the baseline in Adelaide, and whew, that one was tough to swallow.
Illawarra need a quick shot here, 2 for 1, to try and get the last possession of the game.
What can they get? Seaver goes up and gets the call.
Well, he's been whistled here that he's going to give it a shooting foul, but he's passed that.
Oh, no. That's a shot.
Looked like it was a pass from our angle, but 100% went to shoot it, and just, again, another veteran move.
It's a couple for Peyton Seaver here in this final period. 8 points, 9 assists, 4 steals. 1 of 3 big free throws.
Haven't shot well from the foul line this season, Illawarra. 62% thus far in their first part, but Seaver's not really part of that equation, really, only joining the team in his second game.
And they got the worst free throw attempts amount so they shoot the worst, but they shoot the least as well, so they don't help themselves in that regard. Seaver's missed the third, and he gets a lane violation, an absolute bailout. He'll have another go here. So he missed the shot. They encroached on the key. Let's take a look. As Seaver hits the third, so cans all 3 at the stripe.
Don't need a foul. Still going to have 10 seconds. If you trust your defense to just get one stop, then you give yourself a chance to send this game to overtime. And, well, he didn't have to foul, but he chose to.
Without hesitation.
And was the foul on Rajon Tucker?
He passed it, yes.
See, and that's, I mean, you could say probably don't need to foul, but Rajon Tucker's 23 of 35.
It's on Rattan Mays.
Oh, Rattan Mays.
That's where I was at. I thought if you're going to foul someone, that's someone who's struggling from the free throw line.
And that's Rajon Tucker, so 65%. RXM's probably not the guy that you want to do that to, but we'll see how this one plays out. Big foul shots in the context of the game for Rattan Mays.
So Rattan Mays is 3 of 4 tonight at the free throw line. 6 of 12 on the season, a career 61% free throw shooter.
Well, perhaps it's not a bad foul after all. The team overall, another team shooting poorly from the foul line, 66%.
Oh, it's a great foul.
Misses the first.
Oh, I don't even know what we're talking about. He knew what he was doing.
It could be burgers on the line here.
That's one thing Andrew Gaze would say. How can you not, as a professional, be able to shoot foul shots, the easiest shots in the game, the gimmies?
He makes the second. It's a big, big foul shot from Xavier Rattan Mays in his old building against his former side to push it to a 4-point spread with 34.4 remaining. And they won't take time out, the Hawks. Peyton Seaver will bring it up.
Melbourne United just have to play straight up here, no fouls.
Seaver to Harvey. Gets inside, can't float it home.
That's the one there.
Oh!
A bit of extracurricular.
Deng Deng is known for his...
Well, before... Exactly right, Granny. So I'm going to wait till we see a couple of replays. He's jumped to too much just yet, based on...
Deng came in with the big swipe, didn't he? And Tucker
I'd take that back.
thrown an elbow. One high, one low.
This is going to get looked at for sure. Oh, 100%. He tried to hide it in the end, but you can see the initial contact made to the lower ab region. And after that, just no need to do it.
Just 3 of 5 tonight, Rajon Tucker. He's already got 4 fouls. Dave Barlow in conversation with Dean Vickerman.
It's safe to assume that he got 4 fouls. That might be upgraded here.
So Deng makes the play at the ball.
That's
you can see the elbow to the midriff, and then it slides up as he...
He doesn't have one swipe at it, he has 2, and it doesn't look good here on the replay, and I wouldn't be surprised if it is upgraded. It could have been dangerous, not only to the nether region, but to the head region
I'd
as
say
well.
for sure that's going to get upgraded.
It's like standing on the first tee and you make contact and follow through.
Could be a bit to come out of this one.
Foul stands on black 77. It's also an unsportsmanlike foul on white 59. So
there we
two
go.
shots
So we've
and then
got
2 shots.
Interesting. So the first foul's been called on Deng Deng. So that's going to send Rajon Tucker to the line for 2. And then an unsportsmanlike foul on Rajon Tucker. It's going to send Deng Deng to the line for 2. So they don't cancel each other out. We're going to shoot the free throw. Someone's been hitting the jejune. It's all happening.
And Rajon Tucker, he's not great at the foul line. He's 23 of 35 for the season, 35%. These are big-time foul shots, and this is why you hire your imports to make these big-time shots, and listen to that crowd.
Makes the first, silences them somewhat.
So just having that foul upgraded, not added to unsportsmanlike, means that he's still on 4 personal fouls, because otherwise he'd be sitting down.
Second is good too. That's clutch from Rajon Tucker.
So these are 2 big free throws now for Deng Deng, because they, with an unsportsmanlike, should be getting the ball back. But to be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea what's going on.
Unless you're not alone. We're all in this together, Pete Hooley. So Deng Deng steps to the line, makes the first of 2. Provided plenty of energy tonight.
We're about 5 seconds away from a free throw shootout.
Oh, that's the ultimate hometown roll. So he makes 2.
So they are going to hold the game up here just to check how many fouls Rajon Tucker has, because we thought he had 4, but then got unsportsmanlike. Is it upgraded? If that's added on, and then his 5th foul, then he should be out of the game. And if that happens, then his free throws become
null and void.
Null and void, but does someone else shoot those free throws? Look, I don't know what's going on here.
Going to be a bit that plays out over the last moments here in a game that's had plenty to offer throughout. 4-point Melbourne United lead. The Hawks have led at every change, by 2 at quarter time, 1 at half time, 2 at 3/4 time.
This is going to be very interesting, because if they determine that he's fouled out, so they're not, so I would assume that he's only got 4 fouls, hence the upgrade, so they're not added on the unsportsmanlike.
So Hawks ball, Harvey Seaver, Froling, Deng and King out there for Illawarra. Seaver tosses it to the corner. Deng hits the triple.
Of course. Loves it. Well, this game is well and truly alive.
Deng drains it. And the Win Entertainment Centre on their feet. Illawarra not lying down.
Peyton Seaver's 10 assists on the night. Beautiful penetration there, as we see draws 3 wide Melbourne United players and finds his teammate Deng in the corner, who turns around and lets Melbourne United know about it.
Well, here they go now. Got a foul. Well, you've got enough time to try and get a first pass trap. Because you've got 14 seconds on the clock if you want to try and trap first or send someone to the free throw line. It might be a little shaky. Besides David Aquera and Malawatch, everybody else has missed a free throw tonight.
Let's take in some of the atmosphere courtside. Matt Russell.
After a couple of Monday night games, Joel, great to see a Saturday evening fixture bring the fans back to the stadium. Fantastic atmosphere in the sandpit. They know how desperate a game this is for their team. A 5-game skid, they're fighting hard, they're back within one. 14 seconds on the clock. The crowd now becomes a big, big factor on a great night for the Hawkies, atmosphere-wise.
Absolutely, it has been good fun. And it is going to go right down to the final possession. Deng Deng with 9 points, hits a big triple to bring it back to a 1-point game. He was 6 of 24 from downtown coming into tonight. Didn't he like his work? And now United get a chance to answer.
Well, if you're Illawarra, you've got to foul early or try and get a steal on the inbound, but you've got to know who you're fouling.
So Dave Barlow to inbound. Rattan Mays turns the corner and lays it in for 2.
That is the last thing you could possibly want. An easy layup where you don't even test them. Shoot a free throw.
Now Harvey, he likes to look at the 3-ball. My! Tyler Harvey with a massive shot.
What's going on?
Ties it up. United can't get a shot away.
I didn't even try to get a shot away. That's bewildering.
And we've got free basketball in Wollongong.
Well, I think that's just been a complete mental lapse from Melbourne United. Tyler Harvey throws up the prayer, ties the scores, and he's still got 4.5, 5 seconds to push the floor and at least get a shot away.
Talk about someone who's been in a shooting slump for the most part of the start of this NBL23 season, but if you want a guy to have the ball in his hands when it matters, it's Mr. Tyler Harvey, as we see him drain that long 3, and everyone's up off their seats celebrating that one.
These two teams aren't strangers to overtime on this floor. 2019, 4 overtime game.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for rejigging my memory there.
Oh, it's part of that. You spoke about how Gazy mentioned hitting free throws is the easy part. Gave away burgers at the end of the 4th overtime after sitting for a while.
Okay, we don't want to reminisce on that one. Obviously, you haven't let that one go, but... But oh my goodness, couldn't have asked for a better couple of minutes of NBL23 Hungry Jacks basketball, and this is what Illawarra want to see, regardless of the outcome, that you want to see them fighting all the way to the end.
And that is exactly what they've done. Tied at 85 at the end of regulation, and the Illawarra, the sandpit, it is pumping, Matt Russell.
Absolutely, they love that. I was right behind that shot from Tyler Harvey. Having interviewed him in recent weeks, he always gives the impression that he will back himself. He believes in himself. He says a shooter is here to shoot. Well, right there, he spun away from the defender, and it was straight from the muscle memory bank. Didn't even look at the target, let it go. It never looked like missing. That's Tyler Harvey. That's great shooting.
Here's the play from Tyler Harvey. 5.6 seconds left on the floor. XRM looks like he's just running the clock out as though they're up 1. Dave Barlow then assumes the same because his point guard has tried to dribble to the corner. They've got 5 seconds. Tucker's holding his hands up, Chris Golding. It's J.R. Smith-esque.
He almost looked up at the scoreboard as well, and there was a certain degree of confusion about that for Melbourne United. So Tyler Harvey, he was 4 of 20 in his last 3-point attempts, 13 of 47 on the season coming into tonight, 5 of 8, including the 3 to tie it with 5 seconds remaining. And we are headed to OT in the sandpit. If you were wondering just what a win meant to both of these teams at this stage of their season, we've left you in no doubt through 4 periods so far. And here comes 5 more minutes to try and sort things out. Harvey, Seaver, Froling, Deng and King, the 5 the Hawks are going with. Seaver has been as advertised this evening. Straight away 3-ball. Trying to add that to his resume, and Deng pulls down a big rebound. Here's Harvey. still with a chance to make himself the hero.
Well, he got a good look. Tyler Harvey clean the look, then his effort to send it into overtime.
Return Mays. So involved tonight. Humphries can't get it to go. So they both come up early on their first offensive possessions of OT.
Screeny, we mentioned it, the 4,000 Tyler Harvey, George King. You expect Melbourne United to maybe try and put them in some action to potentially pick up a fifth foul. Haven't done it. Kind of let him off the hook.
Rolling inside, catches the lob and lays it home.
21 points and 12 rebounds for Sam Froling. He's had a night out. It's been the big man show between him and Isaac Humphries tonight. We knew that was going to be a matchup, and then you see RXM, Retan Mays, unfortunate turnover. Considering the last 4 seconds of the game as well that was there for the taking for Melbourne United.
Well, they want to make sure they come out and execute in this 5 minutes, because you never know what kind of prayer. In 5.6 seconds, you can get down the floor and get an easy look.
Of course, they've been in overtime once already so far this season. 4-point win. Melbourne United in their opening game against New Zealand. Barlow. Now Golding. Taken away by Harvey. What can he do on the offensive end? Foul on the play.
I'm going to say foul on the floor, but if Peyton Seaver got continuation earlier in the game, that is more of a continuation than Peyton Seaver's attempt. So we have another look here. Good idea to just slow the ball down, and doesn't put the ball back down. That should be 2 shots. And it's going to be.
Right now you can feel and sense that the momentum is with Illawarra right now. They're getting some good looks and stops on the defensive end and putting the heat on Melbourne United, and that's just flowing into their transition right now. They're able to get out in the break and punch and push in the first 8 seconds, and that's where Tyler Harvey loves to play, is that free-flowing type of basketball.
Harvey makes the first of 2. Illawarra haven't led by more than 6 in the whole ball game. United got out to a 6-point lead a couple of times in the final period.
Let's not forget they're up 5 with less than a minute to go in the ball game. Most could have probably assumed they were going to come away with the win, but the fight and the grit that Illawarra is showing is something they'd be happy about.
Hawks were 0 for 8 in the first 9 minutes and 47 seconds on 3 balls in that final period, and then 2 of 2 in the last 13 seconds. Coming up clutch. Here's Retan Mays in the corner. 4 on the shot clock. Tosses it inside. Tapped away from Humphries.
The effort is exceptional from the Illawarra Hawks. They're diving on loose balls. Everybody's helping each other. They look spent.
And it just takes players like Tyler Harvey, not so much, but Peyton Seaver just being in there. We've talked about him all night. Just gets his hands. He's got 3 steals to his name. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say that. He's actually got 4, but 2.5 seconds on the shot clock here. Plenty of time for Melbourne United to get 1 on the rim.
Keep an eye on Chris Golding curling into Deng Deng to try and get Dave Barlow a quick pop.
Retan Mays inside. Malawach has it knocked away. Froling the outlet pass. King lays it home. Makes it a 6-point game.
This is a 13-point turnaround in the space of probably about 4 minutes of basketball if you include the last 2 minutes of regulation.
Retan Mays puts the elbow up, frees himself, hits the jumper. Home fans don't like that. First bucket of overtime for United. 2 minutes 20 remaining. Illawarra by 4. And a whistle on the play.
Seaver to the line for a couple. New referees right now. The whistle is trying to get everyone to hurry up. If we're on the delay game, morning shooting after the whistle, I'm all for trying to hurry up some huddles. Yes, coaches love it, trying to huddle up, find out. But it's not the NFL. Get in there, discuss quickly next play, and let's continue this thing moving.
No blitzers to be dialed up. Here's Seaver. Outside to Deng from the corner. Unleashes a three, can't get it to go. Tucker's in the ball game for Melbourne with Golding, Barlow, Rattan, Mays and Humphrey. Seaver with the defence, and then Tucker goes out of court straight into Jackomas.
That's just great defence from Peyton Seaver. How quickly he jumped up in front, and he did this to start the game as well. He uses his body. Jackomas. I think Jackomas, if anyone can read lips, was just saying, we're going to win this game. I think that's all he was saying.
So 4-point lead, and the Hawks have brought the intensity their coach would have wanted. Rolling at the free throw line, beautiful feed. Harvey can't get it to go. They come up empty, the Hawks. United can make it a one-score game. Seaver fouls Rattan Mays.
Nice little give and go action down there on the...
I think they've got to use that more.
They do, because you're up in the pockets of Melbourne United of Tyler Harvey, knowing that he's going to shoot the three ball. So that give and go action in relation between the post and the guard can work really well when they're up in your pocket a little bit.
And that's what they did with Brian Gorshnell. I know they're trying to have a different system under Jackomas, but you throw the ball to Sam Froling in that high post and even X off a couple of different cutters and let him make that read. He's a smart operator.
Rattan Mays. Outside, Golding, inside, big bucket, Chris Golding.
He's got to earn every bucket tonight, does Chris Golding. 11 points, 4 of 10, probably not the greatest shooting night, but making big-time shots down the stretch here.
How many times have we seen him do that? Whether it's on the perimeter or inside, he's delivered so often for Melbourne United. Froling puts it on the floor, spins his way inside, gets to his right hand and lays it home.
And that's just smart from the young fella right there. Isaac Humphries, probably not that great laterally, that far away from the ring, and able to use his athleticism there and find his way to the bucket.
Monster performance from Sam Froling. 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 of them on the offensive end. He has been enormous. Finishes with either hand so well.
What a way to respond from a poor showing on Thursday night, not only for him, but for Illawarra as well. And the home fans on their feet, willing their team in the late stages. Seaver all the way underneath. Tosses it away. King needs to keep it alive. Barlow pokes it loose for United. Can he keep it in? Yes. And then he tosses it away. Harvey up with the steal. It is chaos inside the sandpit.
Oh, my goodness.
I can't keep up with this.
Well,
getting a heart attack over here.
I thought the last minute was crazy in regulation.
Looks like a lot of tired bodies out there, and at the moment I feel like they're willing on to a second overtime.
That chase down ball from Dave Barlow, I reckon it would have felt like eternity for him running after that. For a man who retired not too long ago to signing a roster spot, or assistant coach, then ended the roster spot for a little bit to starting, playing major minutes.
So Hawks by 4, 93-89, 41 seconds remaining as we head courtside to Matt Russell.
October 2018, Joel. These teams needed 4 periods of overtime to be separated. Melbourne prevailing 123-122. 4 years down the track, we couldn't, could we? We couldn't do that again.
Well, that wasn't fun to be part of, Matty, because for all the guys on the bench, now this is exactly a similar situation where you've got some key guys on 4 fouls and starters. Tyler Harvey, Deng Deng, George King. When you get to 4 overtimes, you're bound to have a couple of them foul out. And you've got to bring in some of the bench players who haven't played for a while and try and get them warm in the last period.
Let's go courtside, Brad Rosen.
Yeah, just listening to the Illawarra, Jacob is very, very calm. He said, guys, we're up by 4. No threes, no stoppage of clock. When we get the ball, get it in Peyton Seaver's hands. He will win us the game and bring us home.
Well, just make the right decision. He even saw the possession before, just dribbling, keeping his dribble alive, not trying to force anything too much. 11 points, 10 assists for him on the night. The way this game is played out, this is not over. Not even close.
So it's 8-4 in the bonus period so far the way of Illawarra. We were tied at 85 after 4 periods. 93-89. Hawks looking for a second win of the season. United for a third, of course. Sydney and Cairns to come later tonight. Boys on the crossover set, ready to break all this down and look ahead to what's to come. A big round 5 of the Hungry Jacks NBL. Golding with the 3 ball. Thought he was fouled. Straight back up and into it. Now Rattan Mays from the corner.
Why not?
Connects.
Why not? Well, that's a great look, by the way, for Chris Golding. Tom Mays gets the O-board, and this is not over.
1 point game, plenty to come. 26 seconds remaining. Hawks on the offensive end. Harvey's already made himself a hero once tonight. Peyton Seaver, the new kid on the block.
What
Froling inside!
What an unbelievable pass from Peyton Seaver.
Beautiful. His 11th assist for the game as you see his teammates getting up in celebration. But how's the finish from Sam Froling? A nice little pocket pass from Peyton Seaver here as we see this on the replay. Just caught out RXM, but Sam Froling finishing on his non-preferred hand there on the right-hand side. I'd celebrate on that one as well.
I'm not convinced he's actually left-handed with how well he finishes on the right. But that pass from Peyton Seaver, to be able to throw that out in front of Froling, just to pick it up and not have to do anything but go into it and finish.
They've clearly got a connection. Seaver and Froling.
Of course.
And Froling misses the free throw.
Strap yourself in.
16% free throw shooter in his career. 10 seconds remaining. Return made.
Strap yourself in.
That is monstrous. Tied at 95. Now Seaver back down the floor. Gets all the way in. Didn't get a call.
Do it again.
Stay right here. Do not go anywhere.
Boy, oh boy. There are a lot of tired bodies there, a lot of empty faces. The war of attrition right now is who wants us more. Peyton Seaver did all he could then to try and draw a foul and put the referees under the pump as we see. Little hesitation, did the right thing, but just no foul. Tough.
That was probably the one you had that little drop off to Froling. But in the end, has the shot from Return Mays. But right there, maybe that little dump off that he had the possession before, or try to finish with the left. But there, everyone is spent. This is a man who only arrived earlier in the week. But have a look at this. This is tough shot making from Return Mays.
And that's probably a little bit of redemption, if you will. Remember the end of regulation at the fourth. He probably didn't realise the score, thought they were up by 1 and pulled it out to the full court and just let the clock run down there. And probably one that he thought he could have won in regulation had he realised what the score was. But a much-needed bucket at a much-needed time for Melbourne United.
We keep talking about the 4 overtime game on this floor, but why don't we just go to the Syracuse-UConn 6 overtime? Why don't we try and get to that level?
And again, I think for the coaches right now, it's about attacking the guys that are on 4 fouls. You've got Seaver, you've got Dang, and then you've got George King as well on 4 fouls. And let's not forget Tyler Harvey sitting on the bench with 4 as well, who will no doubt be coming back in to start this second overtime. But the same could be said for Melbourne United. They've got Rajan Tucker as well in foul trouble.
So a little bit to work through for both coaches here as we get set for a second period of overtime, tied at 95 as we head to Matt Russell.
The energy in the players, Joel, that we saw at the start of the game, for obvious reasons, they're knackered, but Xavier Rattan-Mays dragged himself off the pine, limped back to the bench, said that he's good to continue, and as he walked past his players, he said, we're not losing this. There was another word thrown in. I can't repeat it here. Brad Rosen.
Just watching Illawarra, Peyton Seaver is not going to be starting this timeout. Oh, sorry, this overtime here. He is absolutely exhausted. They're going to give him a couple of extra minutes, and then he'll be back on.
That's no surprise. Just got off the plane the other day. The restriction was lifted for this one, and he will be well and truly spent.
He looks gassed.
He's played 39.5 minutes.
And he has filled the stuffed the stat sheet for his team. 11 points, shooting at a great clip, but we'll forgive him for that when he can dish out 11 assists as well and have 4 steals and just create havoc on defensive rotations on the offensive end for Melbourne United. He's been crucial. Now it's time for Melbourne United to see if they can step up and maximise the opportunity when he's not on the court.
5 scorers in double digits for the Hawks, so he's got them involved.
NBL23 is unbelievable.
And this game has been off the hook this evening. Sydney and Cairns to come later tonight. And that's 2 of the top 3 as Rattan-Mays gets the tough reverse to go. And that starts us off in fine style here in overtime number 2. Harvey, Swakala, Bullock, Deng, Froling, King out there for the Hawks. Humphries, Rattan Mays, Aquera, Golding and Rajon Tucker is Dean Vickerman's lineup. Humphries underneath, off the feed from Aquera, got bumped and went to the floor but couldn't finish. Frolling's got 25 on the evening. Harvey with 21, can't make it 23. That'll stay a Hawks ball.
I don't like that from Sam. He's done such a great job all night down low on the block and off the pick and roll setting. I wouldn't be dribbling away from the rim at all in that setting. I would be taking on the younger David Aquera and making me have to play defense against me and getting a shot up at the rim there.
So what can the Hawks get? Of course, they led the early stages of that first overtime period. Melbourne United able to close things out to get it back to square. Seaver's back out there for the Hawks. Swakala Bullock can't get the three to go. Froling knocks it away from Humphries. Seaver with another try. That's too strong.
There's some tired bodies on this floor. The physios get the pickle juice ready to roll.
The intensity has certainly been there. Only game, second game of the weekend for the Hawks and the first of two this weekend for United. Aquera throws it to Deng, who comes up with the steal.
Deng's hands were above his head for about a week then. David Aquera has given him an absolute gift.
Seaver out to Deng. Now Swakala Bullock turns the corner, spins inside. Tough shot, won't go. Froling wanted the putback and Humphries pulls down rebound number 11.
A few bodies cracking that 40 minutes played.
12, in fact, now for Humphries to go with 20 points. Rattan Mays has 28 against his old side. He waves the screen away, goes himself, comes up short.
So execution is going to be really important when you are out on your feet. Just trying to get through every single set good legal screens, try to get as easy look as you can.
Whistle on the play as Harvey goes to the court.
You're right, Hulls. It's really important about execution. Illawarra none of 4 in this second overtime right now. 3 of those 4 have been from deep, and you'd probably argue that only one of those was a great shot. Right now in this sideline possession with 14 seconds left on the shot clock, they need to find that great shot that they're looking for.
Had a double overtime win last season, did the Hawks, against the Breakers in round 3. Not completely unfamiliar territory. Seaver takes it all the way.
Oh, he's looked unbelievable. Yes, he struggled to shoot the ball, only 1 of 10 from 3. But he's just looked so in control. Every time he's got the ball, Rajon Tucker's been trying to pressure him, speed him up. Hasn't worked. Way to welcome yourself to your new club, new fans.
All right, we have 1.
Isaac Humphries a little bit frustrated. Tied at 97. Neither team's led by more than 6 in the ball game. The Hawks had it out to that in the first overtime period before United closed on a 10-4 run. And now it's the Hawks back in control. But only by the slimmest of margins. Seaver.
He's going to sleep well tonight.
Oh, he's earning his paycheck tonight, that's for sure. But again, those little crafty, nifty hands getting in the pockets of Melbourne United, and Chris Goulding there was the example.
4 steals. He's been outstanding.
But the things that you don't see on the stat sheet is deflections, and the way he's being disruptive. They're the things that he's been great at tonight, and I reckon he's probably got about 10 of them if we were to stat that column as well.
I'm sure someone on their bench is. That's kind of the impact that he can have.
Ian Golding can so easily be the protagonists here in the closing stages. 98-97. Illawarra's season high points for the season. They scored 97 in the first game of the year against Sydney. Melbourne United put up 101 against the Breakers in their first game. So these two offenses have had plenty of time to try and get going. Tucker, low numbers on the shot clock, can't get it to go.
Great wall up. It's Ray John Tucker's athleticism. That's a shooter in the end because the shot clock ran down. Good disciplined defense. And they get a good look.
The fans in the sandpit getting their money's worth tonight. Seaver again goes all the way underneath the basket. Fires the corner three. Comes up short.
1 of 11 from 3, and that was extremely tight.
Rattan Mays to answer, and Hand United back the lead.
That is a layup for Rattan Mays. That mid-range jump shot, that's a 30-piece nugget on the night, and he's never seen, but he's spent.
Froling answers back. Hawks in charge once more.
How good has the young buck been tonight? Just wherever he's been, just putting the nice easy twos in or ripping onto his favourite left hand and getting to the rim has just been sensational to watch. 27 points, 13 of 17 from the field.
14 boards to go with it. As Rattan Mays goes straight back to work.
This is just incredible shot making, but this whole game is absolutely bonkers. Let's not forget, in the third quarter, no team wanted to score. First quarter, no team wanted to score.
Seaver now loses the handle, dives on Tucker, who comes up with the loose ball and is energised. Can he inspire United down the stretch?
This is great one-on-one defence. Staying attached, the ball came loose from Peyton Seaver, and first one on the floor.
And they're the things you want from players. You know, as a coach, those desperation plays, they're diving on the balls. Yes, you want the great plays and the great shots and the highlight reels, but they're the things that win you games. Are those blue-collar works there shown by Tucker, and we want to see that, especially in this double overtime.
Let's get down to Matty Russell.
Melbourne United, this is the first of 4 games in 9 days. They probably didn't need double overtime, but they need the win. Up by 1, final minute. How good is this?
It is outstanding. First of 2 games in the Hungry Jacks NBL on your Saturday night. And if this is the entree, how's the main course going to be? Rattan Mays can't get it to go. Tucker with the putback.
Oh, what a vertical leap from Ray John Tucker. What he does do is set this up for a Hawk player.
Oh, it's taken away. Aquera comes up with it. Almost then taken away from Tucker.
You still don't need to foul, but you don't want to give up a layup either.
Froling doesn't do that. And does foul on the way through.
And this is the kind of play where Peyton Seaver is clearly spent. He's had 2 turnovers now. Maybe get the ball in Tyler Harvey's hands for one of those possessions, just to give Seaver a bit of a break. He's played 43 minutes. Only other player to play more than that is 44 minutes from Rattan Mays. Still have him involved in every offense, but maybe just give him a chance to catch his win in his crucial last minute.
What a contest this has been.
Talk about crucial. Probably the 2 biggest foul shots of this man's young career, and he misses that first one.
In his first NBL start, he's earned the trust of Dean Vickerman in a hostile environment, in a 3-point game with under 30 seconds left. Can the 20-year-old stick the second? He can't.
We've got double overtime burgers. It's got to be a double cheeseburger, surely.
The code is tall, and Hungry Jacks in New South Wales will be overrun.
Let's see what Tyler Harvey can do here.
What can Tyler create? It's poked loose.
Oh, it's got to be a double cheeseburger, surely. Here they go. In the end, it probably helps them. Ball went out. Call a timeout, set something up for a clean look at the 3.
Fair to say they all need a little bit of a spell. It's been attritional. It's been exciting. It's certainly been entertaining. And the Wynn Entertainment Centre is living up to its name tonight. 103-100. Melbourne in charge. It'll be Illawarra ball out of the timeout with 14.5 remaining.
Too early to try and foul if you're Melbourne United, just to try and limit them getting a 3-point attempt up.
But would you foul, though? You're up by 3 in the context of the game. Put them to the foul line. The pressure's on them.
Well,
and then you're only
not now.
Still winning.
Not now with 14 seconds to go. Maybe they will, but I think everybody just wants this game over with.
You know, you put them to the foul line, you get possession. Even if they make the 2 buckets, you're up by 1. And you get the possession and can run out the clock, but I don't know, we're just giving them an option. And
you also run the risk of potentially going the wrong way. which we've seen a lot. And you get a little scared of not giving away an unsportsmanlike, and you end up doing it. But what some outstanding numbers we have tonight. Those three blokes worth every minute of that bad music road trip.
Yep.
32 points from Rattan Mays.
Outstanding game. Let's go courtside. Brad Rosen.
Well, it's no shock they're going to go to Tyler Harvey, but what's going to happen is Seaver's going to take the ball out, give it to Froling. Tyler's going to be in the corner, and then they're going to go for the handoff. Tyler Harvey to take us to triple overtime.
Thank you, Brad. Let's see how it unfolds. Seaver to Froling, just as they drew it up. Where's Harvey? Here he is. Tyler from deep. Comes up short.
Well, Rattan Mays is down. On that play, clean look in the end from Tyler Harvey.
You couldn't have asked for a better executed play here. Coach Jacob would be happy with that. He had a clean look, and that didn't look nice. He's played 44 minutes of this game, and that didn't look pretty, and
well,
injury woes could get worse.
He stepped on Ray John Tucker's foot, so a bit of a stinger there. As he tried a hard closeout to Tyler Harvey.
He's had a brilliant night, Rattan Mays, 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Big shots down the stretch.
Can't question the endeavour of him tonight. And his output, and the output of all these players, to be honest. I think Illawarra Hawks have been great and showed what they're capable of, considering the loss that they had up in Brisbane a couple of nights ago. But this is a big win if Melbourne United can come away with this. And let's be honest, they should have probably come away with it in regulation time.
Tucker misses the first free throw.
It's the door ajar ever so slightly. Has a little chuckle to Chris Golding. Just have a little smile saying we just need one.
Can he stick the second? Yes.
He got upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul. And that's what I was talking about, Jenny, where you get so scared of trying to foul the right way. That's where I think you just got to communicate to the referee, saying, look, we're going to go for the ball, but we're trying to foul. And just try and do it the right way to take that out of it completely. That basically ends the game.
So Melbourne up by 4, 5 seconds left, and in the box seat. Something remarkable would have to happen from here for the Hawks. Seaver fouls Golding. 3.1 seconds remaining.
I might have dodged a little one there. David Aquera was shuffling a little bit on the sideline. Bit of a... They got the right man at the stripe to put this one to bed. And then all the players can get to bed.
81.8% free throw shooter in his career, Chris Golding. Just the 11 points. The first time all season for United they've had 2 players score more than 20. Rattan Mays with 32, Isaac Humphries with 20.
And that man deserves a seat. He's had a stellar game for his Melbourne United team tonight. Led from the front from the start. He's been able to put this one to bed.
So 6 points is the United lead. George King tries for a consolation prize, but in double overtime, it's Melbourne who comes away winners on the road. They had to fight every second of that one. And United, indeed they were in victory. 106-100 the final score.
What a performance from both teams. Big shot making just to get to this point. It slowly started to pick up after a slow start for the game. Ended with some incredible fireworks, and this is what happens. It was a much needed win for both teams, and in the end Melbourne United did enough to get it done.
But I like the fight that we saw from Illawarra Hawks tonight. You know, the writing was all on the wall against Brisbane the other night, but they showed some fight tonight. They showed some character. Seaver looks pretty happy in that point guard spot as well, and Coach Jacob would have a lot to be happy with tonight.
And that'll sting for the Illawarra Hawks, who drop another one, but they can build off this.
They brought that intensity tonight, didn't they? They got the response that Jacob Jackomas was looking for.
And probably set a standard.
Absolutely. Let's go courtside. Matt Russell is with our Foot Locker player of the game.
Absolutely, for a very good reason. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Xavier Rattan Mays, you look absolutely spent. You look hobbled. How are you?
I'm all right. We had whatever it took to win tonight. It was a tough week for us. Dino challenged us. We wanted to come out here and play Melbourne United basketball and be good on the defensive end, and I just wanted to come out here and do whatever it took for us to win.
You walked off between the overtime periods and shouted to your teammates, "We're not losing this." Why were you so determined?
Just my passion. We've been in a little bit of a rut, obviously, and we wanted to get back to winning basketball, and I wanted them to know, I wanted them to feel my passion, and I wanted them to know we're not losing tonight.
You look a little bit emotional, are you?
Yeah, hurting a little bit, and like I said, man, I want to win, and by any means necessary. We came out here with the right mindset tonight. Obviously, we made some plays that, you know, took us out of things, but we were able to pull it out, and it's a great feeling.
Xavier, congratulations. Important win, breaking that 3-game skid, the first of 4 games in 9 days. Good luck going forward.
Thank you so much.
Not hard to see what it means to Melbourne United. A big win on the road, 106-100 over the Illawarra Hawks. For the first game of a Saturday night doubleheader in the Hungry Jacks NBL, and weren't we treated to something special? Double overtime in the sandpit, and Xavier Rattan-Mays leading Melbourne United with 32 points to a 106-100 victory, snapping a 3-game losing skid. Cairns and Sydney coming up next. That was outstanding. Big night of hoops coming your way. Stay tuned right here.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
Pop and chicken pack for just $34.95 at Hungry Jacks.